Hey, what's up? Y'all know who it is, man. The Dolphins D, we already in here. Ready to turn up this year. We gon' get it.
To Hard Rock Stadium.
We gon' defend. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. Remember he say his squad. We gon' defend. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. Remember he say his squad. We got the whole squad with me now. Train to go. Come play games if you want to. Try to crash our house, you done took the wrong route. We gon' crash in you like a stunt dude. Check y'all like 1, 2. Tap your head like your uncle. You wanna ride, stay buckle. It get loud down here, get wild down here. It's time to feel the jungle. Never disrespect the squad that's defended by a line. And some beasts on the feast on our position. Another line in the back, singing to the ER. Just in case you got through the first line, we tripping. But if for some reason it get crazy, I got watchers on the corner for my safety. Everybody here well coached. Change the weather under pressure, stay cool like an AC. Woo! But we still make heat. Woo! Was you trying to play me? We be 3 plus 8 deep, but I'm a fool so low. Can't nothing break me. Be great, only way to do great things. Hit hard, only way to make a statement. Come up in our territory, make a payment. Or be in debt with your neck, gotta play. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. Remember he say his squad. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. Remember he say his squad.
I hit them boys. We throw them toys. That saying that QB. We them boys. We the realest. We go gorillas. We out here, homie. You gon' feel us. Don't make me come down. In that box. Like I'm red. I'll knock your socks. Won't play y'all boys. Cause we some bullies. We'll take your cookies. Cause y'all some rookies. I'm in the building. Me and Shot Jones. We do lane. We don't play zone. We play that man. So guard your hands. I see your eyes. You're scared,
we
man.
We gon' defend. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. Remember he say his squad. We gon' defend. Homie, this side. And we gon' defend. Remember he say his squad. Yeah.
What is going on, y'all? It is your boy, Steven D. Super excited to be here with y'all this morning. You want to know why? Because, hey, man, it's a beautiful morning. It's Monday morning. It's a holiday morning. Happy Memorial Day weekend to everybody. Super excited that everybody is on and listening on this beautiful, beautiful Monday. I hope everybody can hear me. As you can kind of see, I got a new setup, got some new equipment in the building. Definitely making sure I'm right in here for y'all. Liam Dolly says all good from here in the UK. That's what's up. Jamie Bahamas, who was the guest on this morning, one of these two amazing guests. Good morning, Fizz Nation. Love support. Let's have a great show. Tracy DWA here in front and center. I am super excited to be hanging out with you all this morning, man. We have an amazing show lined up for everybody. Not only that, I'm just super excited to be hanging out with y'all because y'all are the best fans in the land. And you want to know why? Because y'all just do what y'all do every single weekday Y'all come on. Y'all support this amazing show with just your love and your comments. And I'm just super excited that y'all are a part of it. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We got a great show lined up for y'all today. We definitely have things like Tua's Confessions, which we're going to talk about later on today. That's going to be a good Dolphin chat. So make sure you guys stay tuned in for that. That is going to be our topic of the day when it comes to Dolphin chat. We're going to spend a majority of the show talking about that today. I'm super excited about that. Also, just some other news and notes, why I still have you all on. I want you all to remember a couple things. Number one, any single donation of $5 or more gets you automatically entered into a DWA swag bag giveaway. Enter as many times as you like. Rules and restrictions apply. Need to have at least 25 single donations to be able to have the giveaway for the swag bag gift set. If we don't have at least 25 single donations, then we're going to have to give away something really cool like this. Those DWA shorts, which I know you guys think is fire because I think it's fire. So look, what we're trying to do is obviously grow the channel. Donations are much appreciated as they help our channel grow. We want to continue to bring you amazing and new content consistently, and your donations help with that. So if you can, great. If you're not ready or you just are not ready to hit the support button that way yet, you guys can still hit our channel by hitting that like button. That's right. Pancake that like button. It is the morning time. If you like pancakes, pancake the like button. Make sure you all subscribe, hit notifications, because that is important too. The swag bag giveaway, there are 3 different ways to enter. You can do it through the YouTube live super chat. You can do it through the Cash App, or you can do it through PayPal. So whatever way is easier for you, we will take. We already have 3 donations from last Friday. And that means we only need 22 more to go of the single donation. So be on the lookout for that. I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope you guys have a good time with that. It's going to be very, very interesting. All right. Without further ado, I want to bring in a couple of guys to introduce this show because you know what? These guys are absolutely amazing.
Hey guys, I'm Danny Johnson, CEO at TPP, the Positive Porpoise.
I'm Jason Miller from Fins Up SoCal Fan Club.
I'm Scott Howell from Atlanta DolFan Club.
Mark Angelo, NorCal DolFan Club.
And you're listening to Clock Blockers, Miami fans' #1 morning show.
Run it, 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 run it.
You know what? Those guys are absolutely amazing because they are just loyal, loving people. That's right. I want to give a big shout out to all 4 of those guys. TPP representing the building, Fins Up SoCal, Atlanta Dolphins, and obviously the godfather himself of the Finlaws, Mr. NorCal, Mark Angelo from Fins Up NorCal. So look, man, it's I love all those guys. I want to say thank you again for them doing that a couple weeks ago. And they did that on the first take. They didn't even have to do any more takes, which was absolutely awesome. I want to remind you guys, if you guys want to become members today, like my man Chef Zhu in the building, along with, a lot of other absolutely amazing people, you guys can actually do that right now. You guys can go and become new YouTube members. If you join today, there are a lot of different perks and things that you guys get with that. Some of those levels include discounts on the MiamiSportsMusic.com online shop. So make sure you guys go check out which level is best for you. You guys sign up to become a member. We're going to have awesome things like exclusive chats with just the members. We're going to have exclusive Q&As with just the members. I am super excited about that. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So I want to give a big shout out to Chef Zhu. Chef Zhu says, good morning, Jamie Bahamas, Chad M, and Tracy B, and good morning, Elder Bruce. See, that's the type of people we have as the members here, so that makes me super, super excited. So let's kind of hop into the morning because you know what? It was a pretty cool weekend, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about. What happened in Miami over the weekend? Well, look, I want to get to the two guys that are going to be coming on with me today. I'm going to do that here in a minute. But the very first thing I want to bring up is the first story of the weekend. And why is it such a big deal? Well, it's such a big deal because Inter Miami CF lost 3-0 to DC United on Saturday, which was a bummer loss, but because of the atmosphere that was on. Inter Miami allowed a full capacity stadium on Saturday night for the very first time ever in the 2 years they've been around as a team. And let me tell you, it was pretty amazing. Look at some of these pictures because it was pretty wild to see some of the raucous crowd that was there at Drive Pink Stadium on Saturday night. And the reason that I bring it up is because, look, man, I want to be a part of something like that. If you've ever been to a Miami Dolphin game, you know what the deep end is. And if you don't know what that is, you're missing out on life. But it looked like there was an entire section that was just like the deep end. And that was it was pretty cool to see. So, look, it kind of makes me realize, hey, what do I need to do to have a whole stadium of chat people just like that? So without further ado, let me bring on my guest for this morning from Talking About Them Dolphins and also 305sports.net's leading Dolphins writer and also our media director here at Miami Sports Music. One of my good friends. I call him one of my best friends. I don't know if he'll want me putting that out there into the atmosphere and claim that. But Mr. Jamie Bahamas, what's up, Jamie?
Hey, Steven, man. I'll claim you today, man. I'll claim you.
All right. And the next gentleman I also have on here is somebody who's been a friend and a loyal supporter of the program since day one. And I'm not talking about Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I'm talking about the Honorable Solo D, somebody who's just been a big fan. And you know what? He's a great guy. He's a great family man. And I love all the work that he's done, especially over the last year. He's put out some amazing content with his podcast, The Touchdown with Doug Smith. Mr. Doug Smith, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for having me on.
Hey, man, thank you for coming on. I'm super excited that you guys are on today. How's it going? You guys, Jamie, you're up in Maryland here with me, and Doug, you're down in Florida, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Old Town, Orlando, 407.
Okay, so what's the weather like down there? It's got to be a little bit better than it's been in Maryland the last couple of days.
Man, it was crazy. Yesterday, it was sunshine. It was like 85 and beautiful. Then we had a hailstorm in the middle of the day. Then it went back to being beautiful. And then we had the most awesome sunset, but I almost died in that hailstorm, but we good now.
I was talking on the phone with them getting ready for the day, and he's like, "Do you hear that, Steven?" I'm like, "Yeah, what is that?" He's like, "Dude, that is hail hitting my car right now." I'm like, "Oh, that's lovely." Yeah, I'm complaining about 47 degrees here, and the pool's supposed to be open for the first time yesterday, and we couldn't go. So I'm so upset about that. Jamie, what's up, man? How's it over? You're a couple of hours away from me in the state of Maryland. How's it going where you're at?
I'm a few minutes away from those nasty birds, the Ravens, man. I live just a few minutes from the training facility. But the weather here, the weekend kind of was muggy and whatever, but you know what? It makes us appreciate today even better because I'm looking out my window right now and that sun looks good. Right after this show, I'm going out and hitting the grill.
Oh, well, then you better make sure you invite me over. I didn't get no invitation or nothing to come over, man.
Well, I guess we aren't that close of friends then.
See, I knew there was something to it. Look, I know you guys are not huge soccer fans, but you guys can appreciate a raucous atmosphere. You guys both being diehard Miami Dolphin fans, just like myself. What do you think of some of these images that I played for you here, because I look at it and it looks like, this is some crazy wild pictures for an MLS game in Miami. I mean, people are dressing up in full paint and, the super fans are everywhere and they have umbrellas out and there's smoke. And I mean, it was wild, man. I know you guys are not big soccer fans, but what do you think of that atmosphere, guys?
Man. That is amazing, especially the last year we've had with, I know we can't say on YouTube, but the Rona beer flu. You guys know what I'm talking about. To see people out there like that having fun, I think there's a Miami Vice revolution going on, man. Like There probably was a fight or two, man. I know it. I wasn't there, but I know it.
We were supposed to have Max Ramos on this morning from the Siege supporters group, which is like, Dolphins NYC or, Charlotte DolFan Club and stuff like that. And, it was he wasn't able to get on because it was such a crazy day yesterday. So we're hoping to have him on later on in the week. But, man, it was wild looking at some of those pictures. Jamie, what do you think, man? I know you've watched some games in the deep end. That's like a whole section of the deep end.
Exactly. And you know what's crazy, Van? So, yeah, you're right. I don't follow soccer on the regular, but there's no greater time than when the World Cup comes around. Everybody becomes a soccer fan. And you saw the madness there. Listen, I have dreams of the Rock, the Hard Rock, getting rowdy like that, man. Could you imagine, this season or, coming up in the future, if people all lost their minds in that stadium, man? Now that it's a little bit cooler, you got some shade. People could get some energy going, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm all about it. Let's start that going.
Dude, I'm telling people right now, I want that life. So if you guys are about that life, just go ahead and bring it my way, because that's exactly the type of atmosphere that I want at the Hard Rock every Sunday afternoon and every primetime game. So I would love to see that, man, personally. And that's why I brought it up. I mean, here's the reality. They lost. They got killed. It was not the greatest time being there. I mean, you look at this, them right now, they were 11th. They're 11th in the standings. So they're, a couple of games out of first, and it was just rough for them. So we'll have to see what happens, and we'll have to go from there. But, hey, that's all the soccer talk I could muster this morning from the standpoint of, I want the game to grow. I want that team to grow. But that atmosphere was crazy, and I want to go to that game. So,
hey Steven, one thing I'd like to see too while we close out on this is what I love about soccer fans and soccer games is that they don't wait for the play. Like, you go to a game and people are like cheering the whole time. I'm like, how are you making noise from the starting whistle all the way to the end, right? And then you go to like a football game, and it's not just the Dolphins, right? You get loud on third down after the play is in. You can see the stadium getting loud. I just want to see us go to a game, and from kickoff, man, everybody's just roaring all the way until the end. Could you imagine that? I would lose my mind.
Dude, I'm just telling you, man. I would love to, you hit the nail on the head. I would love to see a game of the Hard Rock like that. Go! Liam Dolly says Inter Miami fans look like Italian ultra fans, hardcore fans. Dude, it was wild because I actually watched the Champions League final this weekend between Chelsea and Manchester City. And it was kind of crazy to kind of see that atmosphere there, which, according to other people that I was watching, was low key. It wasn't even like Champions League finals in the past when the crowds have just been outrageous because they still have COVID restrictions over there. So it was insane from that standpoint. And real quick, as a side note, one of the kids from Chelsea who won is from Hershey, PA, which is not too far away from us, Jamie. And he's the first ever American to play in a Champions League final. I know, it's wild.
It's pretty dope.
I know, I thought so too. I was like, man, let's go. And that just tells you how big soccer's growing in the US. When a kid has got a talent like that, is able to play for Chelsea and get into the goal and get into the game. So, I thought that was pretty cool. All right, man, that's enough soccer talk. So let's go on to the next thing. Well, look, man, it was a rough 4-game series for the Miami Heat fans. Look, man, I was hoping to have a couple of the guys on from 305 Sports to be able to talk about this, but they were at Game 4 yesterday. And so I know they got a lot of stuff going on today with, doing some, other work within some of the teams that they cover, because they cover everything from high school sports all the way to the pros. But it must have been just, it's tough seeing your team get killed in 3 out of the 4 games. They look like game 1. They're like, all right, Miami's got this. They lost by 2 in overtime, but they have to have it. And so it was really interesting from that standpoint to kind of see, what they had. So I was, I wanted to see them do better, but man, they just looked rough. They got killed in 3 straight games, essentially, and it looked like they didn't show up at all. And, I was really hoping that we would see a little bit of a different, situation with them, but, it absolutely did not come to fruition like that. And so I don't know where the Heat go from here, but as far as this season is concerned, it was definitely rough to kind of see them.
Go, Mike.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
How we doing?
Pretty good, man. We got Michael and Anthony of 305sports.net. I don't know if you guys were going to make it on this morning. I'm glad you guys got on. You guys were at the game yesterday. I'll let you guys kind of take over just so everybody knows. These two wonderful, amazing men created 305sports.net. They cover all the latest South Florida sports coverage from high school all the way to the pros. And they allowed us the amazing opportunity to have somebody like Jamie Bahamas on our amazing team over here. And you guys are actually excellent and amazing at what you guys do. I saw the stuff you guys put together for that all-star game for the high school, that basketball thing. That was dope. And I'm excited to see what you guys got coming up for football season here. But let's stay on the Heat for a little bit, man. What was that game like yesterday, and what was the season like for you guys?
Yeah, so we went to game 4. It was actually our birthday, so it was a little birthday gift for us.
Happy birthday, man!
Thank you. So right off the gate, you see in the first quarter, I believe we were up 22-12. The intensity was rising. It wasn't just from Jimmy Butler. We know that the pressure's on Jimmy Butler defensively. They got Giannis on him, but they saw help from Trevor Ariza, who had 11 in the first half. Some from Goran. Duncan Robinson was hitting early. Tyler Hero was providing. Bam Adebayo, I believe, made the first 4 points of the game. So we were seeing a lot of help offensively from his teammates, which is what they'll need to defeat a team like Milwaukee, and is what they used last year that helped them, succeed so well. That was rolling until the second half kicked in. That third quarter, it was just different story. Forbes was just knocking down shots like he did the whole series. Chris Middleton was being Chris Middleton. Giannis was just too hard to cover. There came a point where Miami just like moved away from him, and they just let him attack the basket with ease, and it just became intense. And Miami had this thing in the first round of the playoffs where, they didn't really value the shot clock. They like to get a quick shot off. They like to match Milwaukee's speed and intensity, because Milwaukee's a very fast team. They like to score quickly, and it's hard to cover them. Tyler Hero was one of those guys. Goran Dragic does it as well, where they just like to come off the screen, either step back and just settle into a shot with 17, 18 seconds left on the shot clock. And that just came and damaged them. And at the end of the day, it was just too much to handle, and they were swept.
They definitely were, man. It was totally rough. And just to clarify that, it was funny because the moment the second half started, it was like, all right, well, yep, these other 3 games, or at least the prior 2 games, 2 and 3, are exactly how it was starting to look come, the third quarter of the 4th game. Anthony, what was the atmosphere like from the crowd? From that standpoint, was the crowd into it? Were they not? I mean, look, you're down 3-0. You kind of, the writing's on the wall for you guys. Like, what kind of, what do they have to do to kind of get the crowd into it? Because it didn't look like they really were the whole game.
So, truthfully, it wasn't very, very loud, given that it was kind of packed, 100% packed, but not a loud crowd. One thing that did boost the energy was counting down when Giannis was at the free throw line. And every time he shot, it was 11, 12 seconds, and they never called it. So, and we counted it loud and slowly, all the fans, and nothing. They never called anything. Aside from that, they were just trying to boost. But you can even tell from the game intros. I mean, personally, the players didn't look as hyped as you should be when you're in the playoffs. And I don't know.
The writing was on the wall.
The writing was on the wall. Exactly.
Yeah. And go ahead, Jamie.
Yeah, so the thing with me too, man, when I was watching that game, one thing Miami has to fix next year if they want to play with these boys now is they need some size, man, because what I realized with watching Game 4, they had a plan. They came in and played that high school zone, man. Like trying to keep them out of the middle. And in the first half, it kind of worked because Milwaukee was just, coming down and just firing up whatever open shot they had and wasn't touching the paint. The third quarter, they must have had to come to Jesus in that locker room, because after that, they came in that third quarter and everything went down the middle, and Miami couldn't do anything with it, man. And the Heat aren't far off, and Pat Riley is a genius of putting together a team, but get some size on that team, and I think things are going to look a lot different next year. But Milwaukee had it in for them, man. They were bitter from last year, so
And to piggyback on Jamie, and you guys can answer this, did Victor Oladipo not play a role into that? Because if you guys look at that, him not being a part of the series and them going after him at the trade deadline, I mean, Victor Oladipo's not size, but would he have been a difference maker in this series? And if not, what do the Heat need to do in the offseason to get a difference maker?
I think Victor Oladipo could have played a serious role, at that 2 or 3 spot alongside Jimmy. I think it would have been, he's a great defensive tool and he's great offensively. He has the versatility. He might not be the shooter that we needed in a series like this, but he adds some veteran leadership, and we saw him against Cleveland when he was in Indiana. He's a playmaker, and he knows what to do in the postseason. But to be honest with you, I don't think it would have made a difference in terms of winning this series. As Jamie said, Brook Lopez was just such a tough, he made such an impact this season in terms of he can shoot from downtown and he can just get up there against Bam Adebayo, who is just in all honesty, he's just too short to pick up a guy like Brook Lopez. So it was just too much for them. And as Jamie said, they're going to need some bigs moving on.
They are definitely going to need some bigs. Is there any big names? Because here, we all don't know what's going to happen with the Kawhi and Leonard situation with the Clippers. And obviously he's not size, but, is there somebody that is on the Heat's radar, that whether that's through trade or potential free agency, that you guys see could making a big splash in the offseason for the Heat?
Well, it all depends on what they want to do moving on. Miami has a lot of guys coming into free agency. Goran Dragic, let's see if they'll to pick up his player option. Trevor Ariza, Dwayne Dedmon. You got an opportunity to extend Jimmy Butler, give Kendrick Nunn some money, Duncan Robinson. So it's all on on the table for Pat Riley. This is why I think it'll be one of the more entertaining off seasons that we've had, in Miami Heat history. In terms of big man, I'm not sure, but that Kawhi Leonard signing will definitely be the headline, and if they can make that happen, then Mike, we've seen Pat Riley do more. So
you just gave me chills. You heard what you just said. You just gave me chills. You just said one of the most exciting off seasons in Miami Heat history. Do you not remember, man? Like,
there's this guy named LeBron James. Maybe you've heard of him.
You just gave me
that
chills.
was exciting.
Ron Wade and Bosch.
You look at before Giannis signed his extension, everyone was talking about 2021. That 2021 free agency class was just going to be so packed and so exciting. And even though he extended, and that was a Miami favorite. Kawhi Leonard's out there. He just evened the series last night, but things could change. In Los Angeles,
they would have to make it to the finals for him to stay with the Clippers. That's my thought of it. I don't think he's happy with the Clippers, so I think that's how it'd have to be. Is there anybody on this team that you don't see on this team come next year that played a big role this year?
Yeah, Andre Iguodala. He has a player option as well, a team option as well. Excuse me. It's just too much money for a guy who I believe is 36, 37 years old.
At the end of his career.
I think he'll decline, and I don't think Iguodala, who's just such a veteran and such a championship player, I don't think he's going to take a minimum contract of keep playing. I think that's the end for him. Goran Dragic, it's on him to take a shorter deal. He missed 22 games this season with injury. He wasn't the same as he was against Boston or against Milwaukee in the playoffs. So I think Miami has an option to, I'm sure they'll decline his team option, and they'll give him the opportunity to come back on a lower deal. But if not, then that could also be the end for Goran Dragic.
Last question for the Heat, and then I just want to ask you another couple questions about some other things. Is this a failure because they made it to the finals, or was the last season an anomaly because of the bubble and everything? Anthony, was that something that they did, or what do you think? Because there are a lot of Heat fans that think this was a failure because they got kicked out of the first round. But the reality is last year with the bubble and COVID playing a factor into it, and then having such a short off season between in theory, they really didn't get an off season this year too. And so I feel like that played a factor, at least for the Lakers and the Heat.
Well, I give the Heat the benefit of the doubt. Very, very short offseason. And when you look at the bubble last year, the Heat, prior to the bubble, were one of the best home teams in the league, right? Mm-hmm. So once they get to the bubble, they're basically playing a home game every day, if you don't count in the fake crowd. And I think that helped them a lot get comfortable. And you could tell, the Heat were comfortable in those gyms. It was basically like an open gym, just shoot around. Guys like Duncan, Tyler, especially, all got their shots, and it went well. When it came to this year, of course, very shortened off season, and they had COVID scares too. Jimmy had COVID. A lot of these guys had COVID over the year. Eventually, it all got maintained once the vaccine, it spread across the league. But they weren't ready size-wise for the playoffs.
They were not.
And it could have been avoided. They had a lot of very easy losses throughout the season that could have had them facing a team like the Knicks or the Hawks, and they would have more than likely beaten one of those teams. But now it's up to the offseason, looking at guys that can add depth from the big position and see where they can go from there.
I feel like
sorry. No, go ahead, Doug. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I feel like with the Miami Heat, we're like 1 to 2 pieces away from winning, not only getting to a championship, but winning the championship. Obviously, the bubble had something to do with last year, but also as well, our talent had something to do with last year as well too. So it's just having a good offseason, having a strong NBA draft. And if you could land a guy like Kawhi Leonard, yes, he's not the tallest guy in the world, but his skill level is through the roof. May even need a new change of scenery. Man, Miami, we got Cuban and Haitian food. Who wouldn't want to be there, man? So, yeah, come on down to South Beach.
I ain't mad at you there. All right, guys, I know you guys got to get out of here, but I want to ask you 2 more questions before you go. Number 1, what do you guys think of this team coming up this year, this Dolphins team? Are you guys excited about this year?
Absolutely. Take Tua. New article.
Tua, baby. Tua. Are you Tua time? You're Tua time, aren't you?
Sir. You can read Jamie's new article on 305sports.net. He says it all. It's the man.
See? Great segue. Great. I lobbed it up and you dunked it on there, Anthony.
Yes,
good
sir.
job. Look at Doug up in the top right. Tua.
For sure.
Hey, what do you guys got? Number 1, I want to say thank you guys. You guys bring amazing content, and the fact that you allow Miami Sports Music to exclusively share it, I think, is absolutely awesome. I love y'all's stuff and y'all's article. It's, in my opinion, there's a lot of people that do a lot of different things. What you guys do is very unique. And you guys not only do it for the pros, you do it for college, you do it for high school. And it's really, really good stuff. So what do you guys got coming up this season, as far as the Dolphins or just anything in particular? Do you guys have any new things coming up that you guys want to talk about or release here? Or what do you guys have planned for the coming months?
Well, obviously you mentioned we had last month the All-Star game, South Florida All-Star game. We're hoping that's a yearly thing moving forward. Content-wise for our website, we've been pushing hard on the Dolphins content, but now we've just graduated high school last week, and we're looking to get back right on track to where we were with daily content, all in-depth stuff. So from the pros, from the Hurricanes, from FIU, from the Heat, from the Dolphins, of course, we hope we can have a lot of content moving forward.
Well, you guys are doing something pretty special this week. Can you share?
Yeah, it's aside from the 305 Sports gig, of course, but we're working right now. We're over in Port St. Lucie, working at a Olympic baseball qualifier.
Ooh.
8 teams here. Whoever wins moves on to the Tokyo Olympics. We got the U.S., we got Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Cuba, and more countries, of course. But we're excited, ready to get to work once we get off this. And
Hey, guys, check in with that. I want to know about that. I'm a big Olympics person, and I'm very interested to see what the U.S. team's going to field heading over to the games over this summer.
For sure. Well, I'll keep you updated.
I love
Appreciate
it, man. You
having
guys
us
come on. You guys are always welcome. This is we do a lot of stuff together, but this is a great home, and I would love to share more of your guys' work. I know this is going to be the first of a million times that we have you guys on, especially with this coming up football season. Michael, Anthony, I love what you guys do. Keep doing it. You guys have something really special going on at 305sports.net. Where can they find you guys on social media?
My Twitter is at Anthony Yero1. Yero is Yero.
Michael?
And then for me, just Michael Euro on Twitter. You'll find me there.
All right. And at 305 Sports with two S's at the end. See, yep. I remembered. I got you guys. Yes, guys, thank you for coming on this morning. I really appreciate it. And have fun over at Port St. Louis, Lucie, for those U.S. Olympic trial teams for baseball.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day, guys.
Bye, guys.
No problem. Have a good one, guys.
Peace.
Oh man, I love that, man. That's good stuff right there, Jamie. You get such a good team over there at 305 Sports, and you've been a part of it for a while now. Tell me what it's like working with Michael and Anthony, man.
Hey, man. So 2 things with those guys. 1, they keep me young, and 2, they keep me old. And I know you're like trying to figure like, how could it be both, Jamie, man? What you don't see is the hard work. When you said that those guys created and put it together and they grind behind it, they do. They got a team of writers behind them. They are in control of the content. They approve stuff that goes there. Like, not everything that gets written is published, right? They go and find the stories. I tell you, no word to lie, Steven. I was getting messages at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. this morning with stuff from them, right? One, proofing my article, asking me about concepts, asking for ideas coming up for the next week, and then you see them here at 8 in the morning on this show, and then they're about to go to do that Olympic thing. I'm like, come on, guys, like, I can't keep up, right? But that's what it takes to be great and put out that awesome content. And then what I also like is the energy they bring, man. Like, we keep it professional when you see it up in front of everybody, but we have a lot of fun behind the scenes, man. We toss concepts back and forth with each other, stuff that doesn't hit the cutting room floor, So it's awesome working with those guys, and keep your eyes on them. They're going to go far, man. They're going to change the landscape of sports, man, when it comes to journalism.
They are, and I'm glad that, Miami Sports Music is affiliated with them from the ground floor, and I love those guys, both of them. They're absolutely amazing. If you guys didn't read the latest article, which we're going to get to here in a little while from at the Jamie Bahamas, you guys got to go check it out at 305 Sports with 2 S's on social media, and then go to 305sports.net, and you can read all the latest articles that they have there. It's absolutely amazing. All right, guys, before we get into the next things, I just want to remind you guys, we got a lot going on, right? And part of what we got going on is we got a swag bag giveaway. Any single donation of $5 or more gets you automatically entered into a DWA swag bag giveaway. Enter as many times as you'd like. Rules and restrictions applies. We need at least 25 single donations to be able to give away this swag bag gift set. If we do not get the 25 donations, you still can win something. And you want to know what you can win? I think it's a pretty great consolation prize. It's that new DWA shorts. That's right. This is the hottest selling thing that we have on MiamiSportsMusic.com shop. They're absolutely amazing. So look, if you guys want to enter to win for the swag bag, any single donation of $5 or more helps. That donations are much appreciated as they help our channel grow. We want to help keep bringing you amazing and new content consistently, and your donations help so that we can do more of that. And if you're not ready or you can't, you can still support by hitting that like button, guys. That's right. I need you guys to hit that like button. We got 28 likes this morning. I need you guys to share, man. That's what I need you guys to do. Let's grow this thing. I can't do it without you. Want to make sure that happens, and keep up the amazing work by hitting that like button and sharing our content, because it's because of you that we're going to grow, guys. All right. Now, without further ado, let's go to the one other thing that we still have before we get into this Dolphin chat talk. All right, over the weekend, the Miami Marlins went into Beantown in Boston And unfortunately, they dropped 2 of 2. They were not able to play yesterday because of inclement weather. They lost Friday night 5-2, and they lost Saturday 3-1. But let me tell you, it was still really cool kind of seeing that team at Fenway Park. That's not a place the Marlins get to go to on a night in, night out basis, or a year in, year out basis for that matter. And I don't know about you. Like I said, yesterday it was rained, so the makeup rescheduled date is June 7th. So if you guys are going to be in Boston on June 7th, you guys, and you're a big Miami Marlins fan, you guys should go check that out. But it's going to be, a very tight race going towards the end of the season. And I know we're not even at the All-Star break yet. We're a few weeks away from that. But look, the Marlins are 4.5 games out of first, but the Mets are only 5 games above 500. And if you look at that division right now, it's up in the air. And the reason that it's up in the air is because there's not a lot going on in the NL East. And Jamie and Doug, I know you guys aren't huge baseball fans, but I mean, I think you guys can appreciate any division that is tight and mediocre. It can be any division. And I don't want to put Marlins down for anything. They're still a young team. But the reality is a lot of all those teams are hanging around 500. And so that makes it a mediocre division. So, baseball is not a marathon, or is not a race. It's a marathon. It's about what you can do towards you get to the end of the year. And I don't know about you, but Fenway Park's beautiful. If you guys have never had an opportunity to go, I highly recommend going to Boston and Fenway Park. It's a good time. Any thoughts on the Marlins being in Boston?
Yeah, man. As far as it being a mediocre division, it's frustrating, man, because you've seen the team come a long way through ups and downs throughout the years and stuff. And the biggest thing is it's almost like the NFC East last year. You know what I mean? It was like you give each team a butter knife and say, "Hey, go kill yourselves." Go kill each other. It's just
go kill yourselves. You're right.
Comment of the day. Doug, you just want comment of the day, man. Love it.
and you know what I mean? That's kind of like the NL East right now. But I will say, if you get into the playoffs, anything can happen. I mean, as we saw with the Washington football team, they almost beat the dang Super Bowl champs, the Buccaneers. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, hey, Vanilla Vic, man, that dude, he went off, man. He did his thing. So, but taking it back to baseball, you know what I mean? As long as they could, whip a couple wins together, you get into the playoffs, man.
It's about winning streaks. It's about winning streaks, and if you can string a couple of series together, wins, you're right in the thick of it. So the Marlins are not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. I even said as long as they're within 6 or 7 games come the All-Star break, they have a real good shot at winning the division. Right. Jamie, you've traveled a lot. You've gone to different stadiums. I mean, what do you think about those classic stadiums like Fenway Park, and then having somebody who's a baseball fan that's a Marlins fan be able to go there for the very first time and get all that rich culture and everything? I mean, it's tough to kind of get that in football. There's not a lot of old stadiums left, or they don't have that same nostalgia. But I still think it's pretty cool that 100-year-old stadium like Fenway Park's there, and some of these Marlin fans got to experience it over the weekend.
Yeah, you said the right thing there too. I like the history. That's one of the things. I like that every sport has their own little thing, to be honest with you, right? So basketball is a different feeling than when you go to basketball, than when you go to a baseball game and you go to a football game. And I can appreciate that. And I want it to be that way. Right. So when I go to a basketball game, and to keep it all in sports, but I feel like I'm going to a concert. Like that's the concert version of a sporting event. Right. I like that and keep it that way. Right. When I go to a football game, right, it's a different season, it's a different time of the year. I know we used to have the historic stadiums, but I like the character that they're doing when they build all these new stadiums. Because when you go to a football game, it's like spending a whole day in a new city. Like, even if you're in your city, it's going to the land of the Miami Dolphins. It's going to the land of the Dallas Cowboys. It's the city of that place at that time, right? So I like that too. And baseball, what I like is I love the history. It's like being able to, when you sit there and hear that bat crack, you could have the feeling of everybody you've heard through history, right? You can think about, all the different heroes, the people that changed the game. Number 42. You could think about all those chills come back to you when you watch any baseball game and you walk through those parks, right? That's one of the reasons I love Camden Yards so much, just because it still kept that feel to it, right? I got to tell you one thing. I went to the new Yankee Stadium, used to live out there for a little bit, and I didn't love it. It took away
the same.
Yeah, it's a nice stadium. Don't get me wrong, right? It's a beautiful stadium, but it felt like a football field. It felt like it was trying to be NFL. And I'm like, this is not what I want. When I walk in here, I want to feel, that rich Yankee history. And I didn't feel it anymore. It felt like marketing, right?
You don't want to feel that rich Yankee history, but I get what you're going for. We don't like the Yankees over here.
Yeah, I hear you there. But you know what? The one thing I say, I do this a lot, but I'll contradict myself a little bit. The Marlins, right? So they built that beautiful stadium, robbed the city a few years ago, right? And built that nice stadium out there. Yeah. Well, the thing is, the Marlins were a new team, right? So I think that fit them to build something like that because there was no real history there, right? So when I talk about the history and those types of stadiums for baseball, I do like what the Marlins have. One, especially because in the South Florida heat, you don't want to be sitting out in your typical baseball stadium and trying to watch baseball for hours, So, but that's my thing. I like the way it's set up.
I couldn't imagine watching 9 innings in the heat box like the Hard Rock.
Oh my God! Well, it used to happen. You remember? You know what I mean? It used to happen.
I am not about that life. No, sir. Not at all.
To Jamie's point about just nostalgia and vintage. And man, I went to and I'm not a St. Louis Cardinals fan, but I went to the National Drug and Alcohol Screening Association. They had a conference up in St. Louis. I just got back last Thursday. And so nighttime comes, hey, let's go get some food. And man, we're walking around and I stumble across where the St. Louis Cardinals play.
That stadium is dope, man.
Dude, that was amazing. That was tight. I'm like, dang, I just felt like it was like 19, it was like the 1950 and eating popcorn and stuff like you see in the movies. I was born in 88, so I don't know what that was like. But I was like, man, it felt good. It felt good. Even back in the day, my dad was in the Navy, so the only MLB games I've been to are Padres games. They're not my favorite team or anything, but I remember seeing the great Tony Gwynn, God rest his soul, Trevor Hoffman, and this is back when they played in Qualcomm where the Chargers played. Now they're in Petco. They got this new,
That's a beautiful stadium over there. I have not been. I've been to 19 Major League Baseball stadiums.
Dang,
I know, and I'm hoping to hit Denver this year too to go to Colorado.
Okay.
But the atmosphere in St. Louis, that stadium is.
And then on the side of it, man, there's like a whole bunch of bars and stuff that like they got food, man. It's crazy, man. And then they got this place. It's called 360 St. Louis. It's a sports bar, and I want to say that you're like 20 or 30 floors up. And you can see
the inside. Yep, you sure can.
Into the stadium.
Did you get to go do the arch?
I did go to the arch.
That's it was crazy. Did you go in and help?
So when you get in, it's like TSA, you got to take your belt off and stuff like that. They have park rangers there, which I had no clue that was even a national park. Stupid me. But I went in there. I had to get back to a training, but I did go in there to hit the gift shop and I saw the museum. But I didn't go to the top, but I got tons of pictures.
All right. Do you remember the old Willy Wonka movie where they get to that thing at the end and they go up and around?
Yeah.
If you've ever been to the Arch in St. Louis, you go into the tunnel, you go into the bottom there, and you get into this line. And this line usually is very long, at least on the weekend when I went. And when you get in, it's like this bubble, and it fits 5 people. Now, wow. I'm a big guy, okay? So, look, you're kind of scrunched up. And because it's not like a regular elevator where you go straight up. So it's like a tumbler. So it goes
kind of going like this a little bit.
Yeah, and it's wild. And when you finally get up to the top and you get to look down, it's one of the coolest things I've ever done. Highly recommend it if you've never gone. If you ever go back to St. Louis, bro, you've got to go into the Arch because it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been some similar. The Tower of the Americas. It's not to go off topic, but Tower of the Americas, downtown San Antonio.
This is a morning show. We could talk whatever we want to talk about, man.
It's the tallest building in the state of Texas, and it looks like the Seattle Space Needle over there. And man, you're going up, but here's the thing: the elevator's glass, and I don't care how badass you think you are, man, your knees will buckle. Oh man, when my youngest daughter is looking at me, he's like, "Daddy," what? I was like, "Look, I am not the one to I'm
Don't
not
be
the one in
daddy
the
and me
grave
right now. I'm trying to think where my dad is. I'm scared. I got you. I
My
got
daddy.
you.
Jesus!
All right, guys. All right, let's get ready to do some Dolphin chat talk. But before we do, man, I do want to talk to you guys about my afternoon show, but I'm not going to talk. I'm going to let my man Big O talk.
Don't forget, folks, tonight we got a new show. And fans, you know, they support the team. They buy the jerseys and the tickets, but they never get the love they deserve on sports radio. OnsideRadio.com changes that with Miami sports music for the fans. It's the show driven by Stephen D, representing Miami sports fans around the world. Tune in every night from 6 to 7 p.m. as Stephen D and fans around the world drive the talk about your favorite sports, South Florida sports team. OnsideRadio.com, dedicated to the Miami sports fan. So we're doing something a little different. It's a fan-driven type show, so it should be interesting. And Steven's going to be talking to a lot of fans that are kind of, they're big in their own way, pretty much in the fan community, you know, that kind of stuff. So I like that. Hey, listen, man, sports radio is changing and evolving, and from podcasts to blogs to vlogs to all kinds of things, it's kind of changed the way sports are covered. And so we're watching all of that, and it's not just media, but fan-driven websites have grown too, and those folks never get a say in all of this. So I figured we'd try to put something together. I tried to encourage those of you to listen on at 6 o'clock tonight, right after Alex Dono, to the new show, and we'll have some fun. It is called, let me get it right, Miami Sports Music for the Fans. And it's kind of a play on words. It's not music. It's, you know, it's Miami sports music. In other words, it's kind of like the tune that most fans want to hear. They want to hear about their own teams. That's kind of what they're doing. So good job there by Steven. And I think it's going to be a fun show. I'm excited for them. I really am.
I want to give a big shout out to Big O, man. He's so awesome. And that afternoon show is great. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, you guys can go to Onside Radio on YouTube, and you guys can see all of the previous episodes. You actually can go to Miami Sports Music YouTube page, and I have all the episodes up there. But when you guys watch it, make sure you guys hit subscribe and like to Onside Radio as well. All right, man. Without any further ado, we got to talk about Tua's confessions. And when I was thinking about, you know, what I should call this thing, all I could think of was Usher's Confessions album.
These are my confessions.
We didn't time that at all. That was Steve, Doug. We're here, Doug. We're here. All right, bro. Like, so first of all, I'm super excited. If you guys want to talk about Tua's confessions, or are you alarmed, or anything that has to do with the Dolphins, use the hashtag DolFan chat, hashtag clock blockers. One last time before we get right into it, I want to make sure you guys know and remember there's a lot of different things that we can do, or you can do. One of those is become a new YouTube member today. Look, man, we want to see new YouTube members. We're doing a lot of amazing content, and we're going to have exclusive content for members only coming up here soon. So make sure you guys go check that out. Become a new YouTube member today, like my man Chef Zhu and all the other people that are in the chat. Also, make sure if you guys donate, if you guys do any single donations between now and the rest of this week, you guys will be entered to win a DWA swag bag giveaway. Any single donation of $5 or more gets you automatically entered into the swag bag giveaway. All right, guys, let's talk some Tua confessions, okay? So first things first, Tua at the press conference on Wednesday, it was a digital press conference, and he made a lot of different statements, and they caused a big uprising within the DolFan community and the Dolphins nation, right? So one of the things, we'll just start out with this, and we'll go from here first. So I didn't actually know the playbook necessarily really good, and that's no one else's fault but my fault. Our play calls were simple when I was in. I didn't have alerts and checks, where now I feel comfortable, and I can maneuver my way through these things now. And we're going to take this thing clip by clip, guys. So what I want you guys to kind of do is just understand that we're going to go through some of these things individually. So, Jamie, I'm going to start out with you. What are your thoughts on this particular blurb of the press conference?
So here's how I'll do this, Steven. So it's my job to, read through these entire transcripts, listen to these press conferences, right? First of all, everybody go check out the article that just dropped today, Take Tua. It's a play on the words take two, because this is the second act when he gets to run it back and do it all over again. So now let's address the comment. The first thing with this, man, I love what we do in the media. I love what we do as writers, right? People jumped on this clip. People jumped on the headlines and started saying Tua said he did not know the playbook, right? As if the question was anything related to that, right? So let me just drop a nugget out there. Do you know what the question was that he was asked that led to all of this craziness? Tua was asked, basically, was, hey, coming down to the end of the season, it didn't seem like you had chemistry with your offense and chemistry with the receivers out there. Did that have anything to do with the way that you guys perform? So that was the question. And Tua, being what I actually respect, being what I can see as a really good leader, tried to jump on the grenade, right? So he tried to, in that statement, the statement is actually pretty longer than this, and I know you're going to bring up the rest of it, right? He initially jumped out and said, you know what? My guys are great. I got to do a better job of getting it out to them. I got to be able to, I got to be a little bit more comfortable and know my playbook better and be able to do certain things a little bit better to make this work, right? And that's what he jumped out and said. He was basically, and he also went on to talk about how, and I know you'll bring this up, but he went on to talk about how certain plays he knew when he got to the line, the defense had it figured out, but he just, still had to go with it because he wasn't comfortable enough. The play was too simple, right? So what he realized was like, oh crap, I just threw, my coach under the bus. I just threw some other people under the bus besides myself. And what happened after that, in between the two statements that made the headlines, he was asked a follow-up. The question, because he said he wasn't comfortable, because he said it was simple and he couldn't change it, the follow-up question was, hey, so are you saying that you weren't comfortable enough to do what you needed to do? And so now he had to address that, and he tried even further to cover up the coaching staff, trying to be a leader, right? And basically said at that point, no, I have to be better to go and do certain things. So it's funny how we never hear the question that was asked. We just hear the soundbite that comes after. But based on hearing the two together, he's a guy I want to follow, man. He's a guy that puts me behind him and said, let's go fight. I got your back,
Doug?
Oh man, yeah, I got a lot to say on this, man. And hey, really quickly, I don't go left field. A-Rod, thank you for your service to our country. Saw you in the Air Force. Appreciate you, and happy Memorial Day. Man, with Tua, he's a very honest person. He's a very, very honest person. He's not a liar. So you ask him a question, and he probably, maybe you should take a PR class. But I love it because it's raw, and you're gonna get the honest truth of whatever is on his mind. He's gonna say it. What I also like to take and pay attention to is the people in the locker room, and hearing what they have to say about Tua. Like, man, this guy has more bass in his voice this year. This year he has a beard. What I mean? Like, he's just, he's gaining muscles. Like, he has
beard gang.
I got patches, but but you know what I mean? Like, it's like his comments don't bother me at all. Now let's talk about the haters. What's that guy's name? Colin Cowherd.
We don't say that name around here, Doug. We ain't got time for that.
He's a chump. I remember the comments. He just talking outside his night. He don't watch football. You know what I mean? Like, you ever had someone on your show be like, oh man, I probably shouldn't have had that person on my show. They didn't know.
Never. Not on this show. Not on this show.
Okay. I had one. I had one.
And I haven't been on your show yet, Doug. So I know you're not talking about me. So
no.
Good.
No, man. I had one some time back. I'm like, ooh, I should have, did more screening. See if this person was a good fit. I feel like that's Colin Cowherd every single episode of his show. He sucks. He's not good at anything.
I love Joy, though. I love Joy so much.
Hey, Doug, while we're calling out the haters that screwed it up on TV, the other commentators, let's call it Ryan Clark, too, man. That dude, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ryan Clark, yeah. He sits
he
there
basically said Tua should have lied and shouldn't have said
I have never,
said, right?
I've never seen so much hate for somebody who I just, it amazes me. how the national media gets on this man and hates him. Like, it's amazing.
I'm gonna say this. Part of me wants him to go Kwame Brown and like defeat the media. Like, y'all seen Kwame Brown destroy the media?
That man's been going ham. He's
have
been
some of
on
Mama's home cooking. Oh my gosh!
Part of me wants
Tua to do that, but he's a good Christian man. I know he ain't gonna do that. It's all good. But part of me wants him to go Kwame Brown and just
Christian. Hey, if Kwame Brown, you better not let that man get in your crosshairs right now, because he's out to get everybody.
Kwame's the GOAT. Jamil Hill. He got Jamil Hill. He got everybody. He's like, you fake woke left. He gets everybody, man, and I love it. But back to Tua, not to go too far left field.
Well, Marcus says, don't forget Skip. We can't forget Skip.
Oh man, yeah, Skip, man, and yeah, all those dudes. Yeah, what do you call him? Dracula. He called Skip Bayless Dracula.
So the way these dudes talk about Tua, you'd think Tua must have talked about their mama or something, man. Like, I just don't get it.
The revenge is going to come on the field.
I don't want no smoke here. No smoke at all.
The revenge is going to come on the field. And Miami is about to go off this year. They're about to go off. I mean, we could look at the free agency. We could look at the awesome draft we just had, how we have, top 3 best coach in the league. Yes, I said it. But it's going to come on the field.
I ain't mad at you.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's look. There's a lot of stuff to break down. Let's go into another part of this press conference. All right. I wasn't comfortable calling plays, Tagovailoa told reporters. I think the guys that were here last year were phenomenal. I just didn't have the comfortability of checking plays, alerting plays, and doing that. I just rode with the play. Even if I knew it wasn't going to work, I was going to still try to make it work. All right, fellas. Doug, I'll start with you this time. Mm-hmm. What do you hear when you hear something like that coming out of your starting quarterback's mouth? Are you alarmed? What were your first thoughts when you first heard that?
It's rookie talk, man. It's inside every rookie's head. Obviously, I feel like, because, not saying you, but like on ESPN, that they, this is the off season, so they're looking for content, things to talk about. People get bored, and when people get bored, people gossip. You know what I mean? And people are making this bigger than what it really is. Unless you're like Marino or Ben Roethlisberger, who had like amazing rookie seasons, this is normal stuff. Because it's a different speed of the game. It's different plays. You're in a different system most of the time. And he's just being honest here. But obviously, people on ESPN, Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless, Steven, they're going to go running with this, yeah. So I don't see anything to this. This is literally, and I expect him to get better. He's going to get better. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is just him expressing what last year was. He didn't feel comfortable. You saw the hesitancy. Even in the Kansas City Chiefs game, he did great, but then in the Broncos game, he didn't look so hot.
Doug, I've been saying for weeks, and Jamie can attest to this. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people called me crazy. I think Kansas City was his best game. I think that we saw exactly what he could be in that game. And for me, it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best producing game for him, but it was the game that I was like, we got it. Like, we have the guy. Mm-hmm. And for me, when I hear, a quote from him saying, "Hey, I wasn't comfortable calling plays." I think the guys here were phenomenal, but I'm just being honest. I wasn't. I think it takes people want to rip some of these quotes down, and they're not understanding that what I think he's really doing is he's raising his hand and saying, guys, I was bad last year. I can be better. I'm going to be better. That's why this man has started doing his own weekly workouts on high school football fields with his own teammates in the offseason. Yep. He didn't go back to Hawaii. He stayed in Miami.
Yeah, absolutely. I see him there with
from this guy. It's amazing to me. The man is doing everything he can to win now. You want to know why? Because people on that chat box right now better be hitting that like button. That's why they need to be doing it. Jamie, tell me your thoughts of this, man.
So you know who else wasn't comfortable calling plays last season? Cam Newton. You know who else wasn't comfortable calling plays at the beginning of last season? Tom Brady. You know why they weren't comfortable calling plays last season? Because they were on a new team with a new playbook. Anybody who tells you they joined a new team with new terminology and a new playbook and tell you that they're comfortable walking in day one and can call those plays, they're lying to you. Every darn rookie in the league last year was not comfortable calling plays. You want to go, you brought up some good people, Doug. You want to talk about Marino and Big Ben? Well, go back and look at what Marino was told in his first season when he came in. They saw him do something in the preseason and they said, hey, call your own plays. They told him to call his own plays in preseason. Then they found something special. So when they started playing the games, why do you think the Dolphins passed so much? Because all Marino wanted to do was pass. He had full reins when he went in, and you know what? Do what you do. And then they turned that into an offense. Big Ben, you want to bring that up? The reason, that's another good point, right? Big Ben was able to do what he did when he came in because they're like, dude, this is the play, but you know what? We're running the ball first. You know, when that opens up something, then you pass the ball. So he's able to do what he was supposed to do. So any rookie coming into the league, yeah, they're not going to be comfortable. I actually mentioned this in a podcast this weekend, right? It's funny. The other thing about it was this was Ryan Fitzpatrick's team last year. This was built for Ryan Fitzpatrick. You had Chan Gailey, who was his buddy from many times and many stops before, with Chan Gailey's playbook, and Ryan Fitzpatrick was coming into a second year with the Dolphins. So everything was already preseason, everything pre-built for him. The way I put it in, you know, to say like, you know, imagine me coming over to your house, right? And waking up and trying to use it as my house the next morning. I might not be able to find where the coffee mug is right away. You might not even have the type of coffee I'm looking for. And I got to try to make a little substitution and I can't even figure that out, right? I might stumble trying to find the bathroom. That's what happens when you go into somebody else's home. That's what happens when you take over somebody else's playbook. So you know what? My man was honest and I like it. And the thing I want to circle back to the beginning of, the question wasn't even asking him if he was comfortable with the playbook. The question was coming after his teammates and saying, whose fault was it that the chemistry wasn't there last year? And this dude stepped up and said it was my fault. So that's what I appreciate about that. So that's what I got to say on that, Steven. And
A-Rod said, save for louder and the people in the back. You know, look. Here, I don't know what Dolphin fans need to hear. And this is me just being 100% honest with people, right? Like, I don't understand what they need to hear. But hear it from me, hear it now, and hear it good. Tua Tagovailoa is not only going to be the starter for this NFL team called the Miami Dolphins for the next, hopefully, 5 to 10 years, but the man is going to have the best second year a quarterback's ever had in the history of the NFL of any quarterback. Yep. I'm telling you, everything is made out for him to be successful.
Yo, Steven, you just pulled what Mike did. You're talking about these Miami Dolphins who had Dan Marino in his second year, like light up the record book. So just remember what you said too. But
I understand. Hey, you keep my receipts, my guy. Go ahead, keep my receipts. Because I promise you on everything. I promise you on everything. There has never been a quarterback primed to be this successful going into his second year. Why? Number one, there's no injury. I don't know how many times I have to keep saying that. He's not rehabbing anything this offseason. Number two, he has a playbook that is designed for him and his strengths. Guys, let's be honest. He's not having to worry about some 80-year-old dude who's coached in the NFL for 40 years anymore. Sorry, those days are out the door. Number three, the wide receivers are the best in the NFL, potentially. There's no reason that they can't be. You have Jalen Waddle. You have Will Fuller. You have Devontae Parker. You have Albert Wilson. You have Preston Williams. I can keep going. Do you understand? Boy, y'all are getting me so... I'm going to lose my mind on you guys. Yeah. I promise you, there has never been a team to be more prepped and primed to win not only its division, but make a run at the Super Bowl this year the way the Dolphins are. And Doug, take over, because I'm about to have a heart. Like, these Dolphin fans are killing me.
I'm going to start off with this, man. For all the Dolphins haters, if you can't say amen, say ouch. You know, because here the fact of the matter is, man, let's look at the Cleveland Browns, man. They suck for a long time, but nothing lasts forever. And we've been bad for a long time now, exception of last year. But but the rebuilding is over. Let's talk about that too. Our head coach, Brian Flores, Chris said that the rebuilding is over. It's over. We got our team. And now we just build from here. We got people on team-friendly contracts. I don't believe in this whole, it's like when the Falcons got Julio Jones and they re-signed Matt Ryan after he's proven that he's not a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Okay. You bankrupt your team. Ain't no bankrupting the Dolphins. We're getting team-friendly deals. We're getting players that could play multiple positions and multiple schemes, man. And it's like, remember when the Patriots went to the Super Bowl back when they had Brian Flores?
Which time?
I think it was 2018. It was
okay.
It was last time they went. They had a bunch of
He was calling the plays. He was calling the plays in that Super Bowl.
Exactly. So, and then a lot of other big that is our coach. He is a Miami Dolphin. I don't care what he did over there now, but it also matters to an extent too, because it's like, wow, that's the guy that we got. That's the guy that we inherited, who was there for 13, 15 years. New England, he even said New England raised him. You know what I mean? But I feel like he's going to make a better version of New England in Miami. It's going to be a better version.
Here's the thing. We all talk about the Belichick way, right? We've all heard that way, the Belichick way.
Yeah.
You got to realize, let's break down a couple of things, all right, boys? Let's understand this. Most head coaches that come from the Belichick tree, not all of them, but most of them, they don't turn out to be successful.
Exactly.
And why is that? Because I think it takes a certain pedigree for you to demand something in your locker room, okay? Yeah. I think it takes a certain pedigree for that, right? And real quick, I want to give a big shout out for Cap for Life. I talked to him over the weekend. He is the winner of the DWA shorts. I told him I would be sending that out to him in a few days. So, look, appreciate the love this morning, Cap for Life. If you guys also want to get entered into the DWA swag bag giveaway, like Cap for Life just did, any donation $5 or more gets you entered into the DWA swag bag giveaway. Look, here's what I know.
You should get Cap for Life on your afternoon show, man. I love that guy's take.
Bro, Cap for Life is he's raw, he's unedited, and I love it, and I'm here for it. And look, Cap for Life is that guy. But back to my point that I'm trying to make here, Jamie. Okay, you're getting me all flustered here with Cap for Life. Okay, understand that I think the way that the Dolphins are set up has been something that Brian Flores came over with that he has that not a lot of people have. There's a reason that Josh McDaniels couldn't be a head coach, a successful one so far. There's a reason that Matt Patricia wasn't. There was a reason that a lot of these guys weren't. And I think it's when Brian Flores steps out on the field, his players know that he's got his back, and vice versa. They got his back.
He will literally fight you.
Yo, and he did in the Cincinnati game, bro.
Literally.
He did. And number two, here's another thing, guys. When he talks, people shut the hell up and they listen. Because what he says, the players respect it. There's no not respecting what he says there. And to a certain extent, he's got something that a lot of players don't have, or a lot of coaches can't have. A lot of coaches try to say this is my way or the highway, but they'll never get the players' respect that way. Mm-hmm. Or they'll try to be the player's friend, but they'll never be able to get the authority that they need to on the field. With Flo, you get the best of both worlds. Flo has no problem telling his players, guys, shut up. You're going to do this my way, and if you don't like, I'm going to get you out of town. Don't think that I won't, because he will. I love Flo. I think Flo, and I love Greer, and I think Greer is one of the best GMs in football. But I promise you, we are not in this position without Coach Flo. We're not.
I agree with you, man. And to build on that, this is your point that I'm going to actually add some sauce onto, right? Two people I like to compare that actually parallel each other. Matt Patricia, right? And Flo, right? Both came from the same tree. Both had the same level of responsibilities. When Matt Patricia went to Detroit, I hope you didn't realize what happened. Dudes wanted to retire, quit, leave, do whatever they had to do to get away from Patricia. They're like, I don't want to play for this dude. Yep. I want out of here. I don't even want to talk to him. Yeah, that's like, I don't want to talk to this dude, right? And Patricia was doing what he thought was, this is how you coach, right? He didn't understand it. He just took what he saw Belichick did and didn't even realize. Because one thing I do have to give to Belichick, as much as I hate that dude, when you look at him and the players work with him or whatever, and I use hate as a fan sense of it, right?
As an endearing term.
Yeah.
I got you.
But the players and the Patriots, they love that guy, and it has to be for a reason. So you don't love a guy unless you feel like you respect him or if he has your back. So as harsh and as brash as Belichick is, he has to be making a connection with those guys so he can be able to give that tough love and do whatever. When Patricia left, he just took, oh, this is how I gotta be, and the dudes didn't buy into that. B. Flo, on the other hand, man, he's the same. Like he has a connection, but he also tells these guys how it is, and everybody knows their days are not. You don't do what you need to do, and you can't be here with us. You have to hold yourself to a certain standard. But at the end of the day, it's still all love, right? You saw the connection he had with Fitzpatrick when, Fitzpatrick was going through his family things, how, those two walked around the field together. You saw that connection. On the same note, you saw how Flo handles things with, the Kenny Stills thing or whatever. Other people would have lost the team. Gay's lost the team in situations like that. Philbin, oh God, lost the team.
Worst head coach ever.
Right?
I have no problem saying that here.
Right?
He looked lost.
Dude was a bust.
Exactly.
Don't get me started on Philbin.
But Brian Flores can make these big moves and doesn't lose the team, right? He let Kyle Van Noy go. That was a captain, right? McCain gone, captain gone. And you think he lost the team? He didn't lose the team. The team is even more wrapped around him, right? And that just shows when you connect and you're real with guys and you're a great leader. So you're right, man. Hands down,
here's
they're doing the right thing.
I want to add to that, Jamie. I want to add to that. Here's a thing that went down last year. When the whole drama started unfolding about Tua starting and Fitzpatrick getting benched, that was a debacle. And somebody within the organization talked, and Flores was not having that.
Yeah.
He wasn't. And so what I think, and from what I have heard, again, I don't know directly any situation, but that person no longer works for the team anymore. That's what I have heard. And so I just think that Flo is not playing. If you're here, you're a family, and you shut the hell up about family, and this is how we're going to do this. We're going to keep everything inside, and it's so refreshing to see. I don't think that he's trying to hide nothing. I just think he wants to create an atmosphere where people are not afraid to speak their mind, players included. One of the biggest problems that I had with Philbin, and I hate to bring him up because I can't stand the man, okay, is if you remember that Hard Knocks and you remember the captains that we had that year, the captains tried to do everything they could to come at Philbin correctly, and he wasn't having it, all right?
Yeah.
And so what I'll say about Flo is I think that the captains here, from what I gather, my perspective of it, is it's an open door policy. You can come to me. You can say whatever you want to say. Understand that I have rules that will be abided by while you're under this house. But if you want to talk to me about these things, it's about how you come to me. And I think that that's why Fitzpatrick and Tua, you'll never see a situation like that quarter to quarterback again. You just won't. And it's, I think part of that dynamic was what Flo instituted. And it also doesn't help. It also helped that Fitzpatrick's a really nice guy and Tua's a really nice guy, and their egos aren't huge. So you put those two guys into a same room, of course they're going to get along. Of course they're going to like each other. But I mean, that's just what I think. That's my opinion of Flo and how that building operates.
He's super approachable. He's very approachable guy. You know what I mean? You don't hear, you see in the media, he's soft-spoken to the point, and he's Fort Knox too. He will guard secrets with his life. You know what I mean? They try to ask him questions. He's like, he just defers. He's just the Matrix. Every question, he's just gonna dodge them. Yeah, absolutely, man. And he's just a solid dude, man. I was speaking with I don't know if you guys know Preston Williams. He's a cornerback we picked up from the Saints, undrafted free agent. So I had him on the show not too long ago, and then I'm friends with his agent, Jamani Ford, and he's just like, Coach Flo is a solid guy. Like, I've known him for years. Him and I were talking behind the scenes, and yeah, man, it's just everything that you hear from Coach Flo is just phenomenal. Everything is just phenomenal. Man.
I've never really heard anything negative. Like, look, we all have our
Exactly.
sources, you know, to a certain extent within the industry. I've never heard a bad thing said about that man, not one time. And the only time you've ever heard anything close to it is when a player gets cut or left, aka Kyle Van Noy. And even him, he didn't really say anything directly. He was just mad about the situation, which I respect. I get it. And by the way, I liked Van Noy. I did
too.
And Steven, let's keep it real, right? So the dude lost money and left a good situation, right? Of course he'd be mad. Like I'd be mad too.
Go back to New England and that cold black ass team.
You on a good team that's on the rise, captain, and you just lost like 20, 30 mil, right? You know, so yeah, I get that he's mad, but to your point, he just got all that taken away from him, and he really couldn't even trash to do it in the media. Really, all he could really say was, "Man, I gave it all. I didn't see this coming." You know what I mean?
Yeah, and back to like when I was talking about like the finances and like, you know, bankrupting the team. No player is bigger than the team. You know, no player is bigger than the team. It needs to be, you know, if someone's getting paid a lot but they're not producing. Van Noy was also banged up a lot. Coach Farrell's probably looking at that, and it's like, okay, does the money reward outweigh what he produced? And he produced well, man. I loved Van Noy, man. He got turnovers for us, and I wanted him on the team. I really did, if I'm being honest. But it's like at the same time, I trust Coach Brian Flores' decisions. You know, I can't say about other coaches in the NFL, but for him,
the other thing too, Doug, is, you know, as fans, we want to find a player we really like and stick with them, and we, you know, build this relationship. We buy the jersey, and we never want to see them leave, and they play for our favorite team. So it's like somebody in the family, right? But one thing I do love what these Dolphins are doing, which the Patriots have done for many years, and our Dolphins have never done it, right? If you're not you have to be a generational player that, hey, if this player by himself will get me a few games wins, or this guy will be the difference in a championship year, or whatever the case is, if you're not that, right, then you're expendable, right? So as good as Van Noy was and is, right, you can find another piece, cheaper, better, younger, maybe, that can do exactly what he can do. So if you find that piece, then you move on, right? Van Ginkel, right? Might I point that out? So if you find that piece, you move on to give you more flexibility, right? But let's just say if Van Noy was Defensive Player of the Year, league MVP, the best defensive player in the league, whatever that is, right? At some point, they probably would have justified that salary for a little bit longer. But the Dolphins of old used to do that. They'd be like, oh no, the Van Noy's are pretty good. He's probably top 10 at his position, top 15 at his position. We could pay him for a few more years and try to keep building. But what happens is that's not good enough. That's how you lose flexibility, right? And honestly, sometimes even if they're the top 3 in their position, if you don't have the pieces around him and you're already paying that guy too much, it doesn't work either. Go back to think about Sue. Right? Sue was great. Don't get me wrong, man. Like, and anybody who says Sue wasn't great, you know, they're lying to themselves. You know, so, but look at the contract we had to pay Sue. So we couldn't put the pieces around him that they've been able to do at every other stop that he's been able to do as a rental. Right? So I like the new mantra and the new way the Dolphins are building the team. It gives us flexibility.
Absolutely. And to add to your point too, it's like, you know, if you can't pay people to build around Sue, you know, it's like, well, you better hope that all your draft picks work out.
Yeah.
And it's considered successful if 80% of your draft picks work out. You better hope all your draft picks work out, because he was getting that quarterback money, man, and you can't be like, oh, I'm at my tight end getting paid like a quarterback. I have my quarterback getting paid like a quarterback, and I'm gonna have my punter getting paid like funny here now. But you know what I mean? You can't, like, you look at the Rams and you look at Seattle Seahawks, they trade around first round picks as if they're allergic to them. The Rams want to pay everybody. Ramsey's getting quarterback money. Donald is getting quarterback money, and then their quarterback is getting quarterback money. So, you know, it's very difficult. There's to my knowledge, there has yet to been a quarterback, or excuse me, there's yet to be an NFL team in the modern era, as far as contracts and stuff go, and mega contracts, win a Super Bowl. Hey, I don't think that's going to last forever. But
so, Doug, you nailed it, right? And this is a good point. I want to give some good news here on the holiday, right? This season puts the Buffalo Bills.
Did you just save a bunch of money on your car insurance? Never
mind. Yo, this season puts the Buffalo Bills on notice, right? So the Buffalo Bills came out and won the division last season, but they haven't won anything yet, and they haven't won anything in a while. They haven't won anything in a while. It's still been the Patriots, and the Bills. The last time they got anywhere, they lost, right? So they're coming into this as the division champs, as the top team. But here's the deal: look at the rest of the division. Their guy is about to get paid. Josh Allen is about to get that money. And you know who all improved this season? Every other team in the division got substantially better. The Dolphins were not far from those guys last year, right?
Exactly.
If you look at it, they weren't. And the Dolphins got a lot better. I don't see the Bills sweeping the Dolphins this year. The Patriots retooled themselves. The Patriots are not going to be a slouch this year. They will figure it out and win some games, right? The Jets will be a fight. Like, the Jets are not going to make bonehead mistakes that will cause them. They're going to win some games.
They did have a good draft. I'll give them that.
Right? So what does that mean, right? This is the Bills' chance to try to say, hey, we got it, and we still have some distance on you guys, because if they don't, they got to go pay their guy, and they can't improve as much as they'd like to. Meanwhile, all these other teams have rookie quarterbacks, rookie contract quarterbacks that can keep on figuring out, okay, we caught you, and now we can keep on building above you. So watch out. This is the Bills' last chance. They're on notice, and you know what? I think they fall off. I don't think they make it. I think they might drop a game to every team in the AFC East this year, which won't get it cut for them.
Yeah. All right. Here comes the best time of this morning show, and that's called DolFan Chat. So we're going to get into that real quick. All right, I just want to remind everybody, if you haven't hit that like button yet, I need you to go hit that like button. That's first and foremost. Number two, the other thing I need you guys to go do is go subscribe to Miami Sports Music. I had to pause there for a second, so I made sure everybody knew exactly what they needed to do. Also, if you want to become a Miami Sports Music YouTube member, we have a lot of exclusive content coming up exclusively for Miami Sports Music and their members, so make sure you guys go do that. The other thing I want to make sure everybody knows is any donation today over $5 or more, any single donation, $5 or more today, gets you entered to win a DWA swag bag gift set. That is going on through the end of the week. We already have 4 donations so far. The goal is to try to get up to 25. So, guys, any donation you guys give helps our channel grow. It's definitely a big deal. What I want to do right now is I want to let Jamie and Doug kind of promote their stuff. And while they do that, I want you guys to get into the chat box and ask your questions using the hashtag Dolphin Chat, using the hashtag Clockblockers. So please use those 2 hashtags in your question in the chat, and we're going to answer your questions. But the first thing I want to do while that builds up from you guys, as well as if you guys are also sending those donations, I want Jamie and Doug to kind of promote their individual stuff. Jamie and Doug both have their own individual podcast. So Doug, tell us about the Touchdown with Doug Smith. Where can people find it, and what do you have coming up in store in the future?
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me on this show. Such a blessing. I know you and I met through Solo D. Shouts out to the Honorable Solo D. It's my dog right there. And Jamie, it's finally great to finally work with you, man. Hear amazing things, and I see why, man. You're a great guy, man. So I'm just so blessed to be here today. So
don't pump up his head. He doesn't need that. It's already big.
I appreciate
I got the head shrink filter on today, man.
It's growing out of control. But yeah, no. So my show is called The Touchdown with Doug Smith. I cover the whole NFL, but I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. But I do cover the entire National Football League. So if you see me interviewing someone from the Cardinals, look, I'm not a Cardinals fan. I cover the whole NFL, but I am a Dolphins fan, and I would say about 20 to 30% of all my content is Miami Dolphins as well too. Catch me on YouTube. I'm predominantly on YouTube. So if you just type in The Touchdown with Doug Smith, man, we're just under 1,000 subscribers. We hit 183K in about like 14, 15 months. So, man, we're doing some really, really big things. A little team around me as well, too. I do NFL interviews. So I had Rondale Moore on my show recently. I've had Tua Williams, current Miami Dolphins. I've had guys like Levon Kirkland from the 90s, legendary Steelers on my show. So, yeah, it's a good opportunity to take and learn about other teams, but also know what's going on with the Miami Dolphins. As far as social media, like I said, hit me up on YouTube, The Touchdown with Doug Smith. I'm also on Instagram at The Touchdown with Doug Smith. Twitter, I'm not so active on. That's something I'm working on. And then, of course, on Facebook, The Touchdown with Doug Smith as well, too.
All right, Doug. All right, now for everybody who doesn't know, Mr. Jamie Bahamas is part of 305sports.net, as well as he is our media director here at Miami Sports Music. And Jamie does a lot of different things, and one of those things is talking about them Dolphins. So I want to let him promote that as well as anything else you have to promote, Jamie.
Hey, thanks, Steven. So first of all, I gotta agree with Doug, man. This has been awesome today. Hey, Doug, it was awesome working with you, man. We definitely got to do this some more, do some more work in the future, man. I love the energy.
Yes, sir.
Yep. So, Steven, thanks for the time. Thanks for this morning. I always say I want to get on you. I love your show. This is by far the best morning show for the Dolphins out there. So keep doing your thing.
Thanks,
man. As far as me talking about them Dolphins, man, that's a passion project for me. And one thing I always realized in life was anywhere I go, there wasn't a day that went by where no matter what I was doing, where I didn't say something about those Dolphins or something wasn't said about the Dolphins to me. And I realized it was a good feeling, no matter if they were talking trash about my team or whatever the case is. I just like talking about the Dolphins, and people like talking about the Dolphins. So came up with the show talking about them Dolphins, and it's just that. It's a short, sweet something to get you talking. I actually don't spend a lot of time on it, like meaning that you don't have to sit there and invest 2 hours to listen to it. It's a quick 10 to 20 minutes of whatever people are talking about those Dolphins for that week, right? So, and the other cool thing about the show is every week, I'm out there interacting with you on Twitter at the Jamie Bahamas. I'm interacting with you on Facebook and my personal page. And if I see some comments or things that you're talking about, I make sure and try to get a shout out at the end of every show to some comment or some fan out there that caught my attention, so we can all talk about the Dolphins together. So check that out on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast subscription, or anywhere you listen to those things. Go and subscribe so you can get up with the latest episodes. On top of that, as Steven mentioned, I'm with 305 Sports as a writer. That's my true passion. That's the true thing when I put pen to paper. Check out the articles. I try to always give you something insightful, try to give you some in-depth stuff, and I also try to give it something where you can enjoy it. I try to put a little bit of a play on words, something to keep you going, right? So always check it out on 305sports.net. And above all, thank you, Miami Sports Music, for having me as part of the family. You can go to miamisportsmusic.com and you can find anything of the latest that I'm working on right there.
Awesome. Awesome, man. Well, I am so glad you guys are here, but this is not the end of the show. This is the best part of the show. The best part now is let's do our Dolphin chat with my Dolphins that are in the box. So check it out. I'm going to go down in order, but if you guys donate to the show, you go to the top of the list, just like my man, Saxman J. Will. Saxman J. Will, who just donated $5 and got his name entered to the DWA swag bag giveaway, said, enjoying the Stephen D. Will Mike Gesicki get traded this season, or will he get an extension? Hashtag clock blockers. Guys, make sure you guys use the hashtags because it helps me decipher the questions from regular comments. So, Saxman J. Will, thank you so much for being such a loyal listener and coming in here day in and day out. And I love that you're a Finlaw and you're a part of the family. So I'm so glad that you're here. Who wants to take that one first? Jamie?
So, Saxman J. Will, guess what? I always say this all the time, so you can put this quote against me. If anybody tells you they know for sure what the Miami Dolphins are going to do under Chris Greer and Brian Flores, they're lying, right? So I'll start off with that as the first disclaimer, because no one really, really knows. But now to answer the question directly from my take on this, everyone on the Miami Dolphins roster has a price. Everyone has a price on their head, right? And they also, what they're doing is, the way I see it is Brian Flores is always looking at the now. Like, what do I have to do to get the best team on the field to get this win today? Meaning, while Chris Greer is always looking with one eye on the future. What I got to do to make sure we get better and still sustain what we're doing. So that's where you see where the draft came in, where they went and got, the tight end to that's, similar skills to Gesicki in this draft and used a decent draft pick to get him. So this is how this is going to play out. Gesicki's going to go out there knowing he's on a contract year and he's going to ball out. If he does, great. If he doesn't, consider him gone, right? But they want him to ball out. And the reason why they want him to ball out is, one, you prove your value for the team. Then once he balls out, he's going to be approached with a price. Greer's going to go to him and say, this is what I'm willing to pay, right? And it's honestly going to be a take it or leave it deal. Will it be the Kelsey type deal? No. Will it be top 3 tight end type deal? No. Right? One, because Gesicki won't put up those numbers. There's no way possible with the offense that the Dolphins built that one guy is going to put up 1,200 yards at the tight end position, and it's just not going to happen, right? Unfortunately. So with that being said, he's going to come with a decent contract, one that he can be proud of, but it probably won't be the biggest contract that he can get anywhere else. So then the ball's going to be in Gesicki's court. Gesicki can either take it or leave it. If they start negotiating with him in the middle of the season and he doesn't take it, look for them to try to get some trade value off of him. If they don't and he doesn't take it, they may let him walk too. And because that still becomes a draft pick in compensation for him. So that's how it's going to play out. Honestly, the ball is in Gesicki's court. Believe it, the Dolphins do want him, but they want him at a certain price.
Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. It's like I feel like he wants to be there. He doesn't seem like one of these other tight ends or NFL players who, it's just all about the money. It's not even about winning. It's about getting the bag at the end of the day. I feel like with him, he's going to make the right decision, and he's been on that organization. He's, he was there for the years of Coach Gase, and I will say Coach Gase wasn't a terrible drafter. I'll probably if I had to say one thing, that would probably be it.
Whoa. We don't have this on the show. Never mind. I'm just playing.
but I'm happy that Coach Gase did draft him. And then of course, Coach Brian Flores obviously likes him because he's been there the last 2 years at Coach Flo, 2 going on 3 years. Coach Flo taking and being there. But again, as I mentioned, no player is bigger than the team. No player is bigger than the team. So if it's going to bankrupt the team and hurt the team's ultimate success, the world doesn't take him. Other offenses, George Kittle, you could say, yes, that offense probably takes some revolves to him to an extent as far as George Kittle. But he's not, Gesicki's no George Kittle. He's not. He's just not. You know what I mean? You can say maybe about Darren Waller over in the Raiders. But again, Mike Gesicki has that type of skill levels. But as far as what role he plays with the Miami Dolphins, he's a tool. He's a tool that we need in certain situations. And there's some games where, he has 120 yards, and there's some games where, hey, he only has 30 or 40 yards, because the scheme wasn't for him that week. So, but to answer your question, I think that they do sign him, but it has to be a team-friendly deal. If it's not a team-friendly deal, peace out.
So here's my quick take, and then I want to try to get some more questions in here. So we're going to try to do a hot take on a lot of these questions. So Gesicki, I think, does get traded because of what I've seen from his agent, and his agent has not been very he's been putting some stuff out on social media that's just been like, okay, yep, I see what's going on here. Gesicki is going to demand top 5 money at his position, right? And so I just see, I know Greer well enough at this point to be like, you know what, this is what's going to happen, and we're going to have to get rid of him while the iron is hot and while we can demand stuff for him. So I think Gesicki does get traded this year. I really do. And that it doesn't matter where the Dolphins are at in the division or whatever. I just see the X factor could be, all right, this is the only way it doesn't, is if the Dolphins like him so much that they go out and give him the franchise tag in next offseason. But I don't see that happening, because if that's the case, if you're going to pay him like a top 3 anyway, give him the contract. So I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't see them tagging him either, because the draft pick ultimately is the most valuable part of it, right? And let's just say, like I said, if he balls out this season, and what I mean by balling out, right? Let's just say he puts up 800 yards, gets close to double-digit touchdowns, right? That's an amazing season for how much the ball is going to spread around in this offense, right? Yeah. So say that happens. They already know that if he can go to a team that actually focuses on him, he's probably guaranteed to get those numbers or higher. At that point, his compensation and a pick, if they let him walk, is probably 3rd or 4th round, to be honest with you, right? So they already know that's their starting point, right? If they take that bet. So now when they go and get trade value for them, they're saying we're looking for something of more than a 3rd round pick at that point, right? If they get anybody sniffing around that and he doesn't sign the contract they want, they can go those options, but they're not gonna bankroll a tight end. They're just not gonna do that.
Yeah. All right. let's keep on going to these questions. If you guys want to get in, use the hashtag Clackblockers, use the hashtag Dolphin Chat. If you guys send a donation of $5 or more, you guys are entered to win, or you guys will be entered to win a DWA swag bag that will be going on all week. But if you also send in any donation, that will put your question to the front of the line. Guys, let's roll through some of these as quickly as we can. The Godfather of the Finlaws, Mark Norcal Dolphin, said, number one player bigger than team mentality, 100%. Do you guys think X Factor figured that out, or will we hear about X wanting more money? I assuming this is pretty much, do you think that X-Man is going to want more money, or what happens with X-Man in this offseason?
Doug, you want to go first?
Oh, yeah, okay. So X, somebody say, okay, Xavier Howard. I was like, oh,
yeah.
I don't know if it's X, like, and it could be any player. But if we're talking to Xavier Howard, a great question, by the way, Mark. Man, that's another one. No player is bigger than the team. You know, I'm really hoping that we have big years from Noah Igbenehi. I'm really hoping that guys like Tua Williams make the team and Nick Needham make the jump. Because here's the thing: if anybody's, I have a feeling it would be him after this season. You know what I mean? I mean, the guy was the best cornerback in the National freaking Football League last year. And I'm proud to say he's a Miami Dolphin. And I want him to be here. I mean, I followed him when he was at Baylor. I was living in Texas when he got drafted over to the Miami Dolphins. And I'm a huge Xavier Howard fan, always have been. But I feel like he's going to want to take and get the bag after this year. So, but again, that could be a guy that we franchise tag, keep it for one more year. But that's a piece of the puzzle I would like to keep, because Xavier Howard is a locker room leader, an absolute beast.
All right, Saxman J. Will donated again. Shout out to Saxman J. Will, helping the channel grow. This one is for you, Jamie. Who will have a more dominant season and take that next step on defense, Christian Wilkins or Raekwon Davis? Hashtag Clockblockers.
So you know what makes this question so tough is the genius of Brian Flores, right? So Brian Flores, he actually came out and said it this week that, believe it or not, his mentality on defense came from his short stint of being an assistant on offense. What he learned while being on offense was that if you run the same scheme, you run the same matchups against a team each week, you're going to get beat, because offensive coaches and offensive teams always have an answer, especially if they know what the scheme is. So Flores then patented his defensive scheme, which he started with New England and actually made it better with Miami, which is there's a multiple front. Meaning a different defensive player will be showcased each week, right? So that's why they changed up the scheme. So now, to answer this question specifically, I have to look at the matchups that the Dolphins are going to have, right? So based on the matchups that they have, I really believe that Christian Wilkins will probably get a chance to shine a little bit more, because what's going to happen is the way they're going to play this and the way they're going to have, notice that the defensive backs they added Javon Holland, right? They went and got McCourty. They actually made more guys that can go and protect you out back, so you could have the guys in the front cause havoc, right? So now you have new edge rushers, right, to go on there along with Ogba, right? You drafted Jalen Phillips. So you know what that does by having Jalen Phillips coming on one end and Ogba coming on the other end, and you don't know what they're doing because you can't tell when they're lining up and dropping back. These guys in the middle are going to feast. They're going to feast. And Wilkins is very athletic for the size that he has. So what's going to happen is he, just based on the scheme, he's going to end up in the backfield a lot. And you won't be able to prepare for it, because just by the sheer fact of him just being in the position where he is going to allow him to be a run stopper this year and allow him to make some very versatile plays on the quarterback. So both of these guys will have really good years. Take that to the bank. But at the end of the day, I think Wilkins ends up with the better season overall.
Because he's going to have touchdowns. Yeah. He's going to play offense.
Yeah,
that's why.
That's true too. Yeah.
All right, next question. This one will be for you, Doug. From my man Dwayne, D-Dub Dolphin Dialogue. Where does Nick Needham fit on this team?
Great question, D-Dub. So I would say Nick Needham, if you rank our cornerbacks, he's a role player. You know what I mean? Like, if he goes on any other team, I don't think he does too well. But he does pretty well for the Dolphins. And I like him on the Dolphins. But if I take and I rank him, I would probably rank him. You take our 4 best cornerbacks, he's probably maybe number 4, maybe even number 5. But yeah, I would say probably as far as where he fits, really, really great at zone. As far as man coverage, he's okay. But as far as it just as you mentioned, the genius of Brian Flores. It just depends what Coach Flores has for him that week. Initially he was going to be someone who was going to go to free agency. We ultimately ended up bringing him back. But yeah, I would probably rank him maybe number 4 out of our top 4 best cornerbacks.
All right, guys, we have another $5 donation, and this time from Cap for Life. Give it up for Cap. Cap helping the channel grow. Remember, guys, any donation of $5 or more enters you into the DWA swag bag giveaway, which we are doing all throughout the week. So make sure you guys get those donations in. It helps our channel grow. And any donation today, your question goes to the front of the line. This is for both of you guys. Do you guys feel Brissett is enough in case, God forbid, Tua goes down? Your thoughts, guys. Jamie?
So, Cap for Life, I like how you phrase the question by saying God forbid, because God forbid, right? However, here's how I see it. So, again, the Dolphins are always trying to build the right possible solution and the best possible solution to win. So where I see these guys is they just have 2 different ceilings, right? What we expect from Tua this year, his ceiling should be here. Tua gives the Dolphins the extreme possibility. His ceiling is to get all the way to the promised land. If Tua plays at all of his potential, because the Dolphins have a great defense, that's known. That's not a question mark. Awesome defense, could be top defense in the league, guaranteed to be top 5 defense in the league. Special teams is on point. We already know that. And it also got better. The offense is going to be much improved with a lot of weapons around there, right? So now it's who's running that offense. So Tua should be able to get you to the promised land. That's his ceiling, right? Brissett will get you with that same defense and that special teams, should be able to win games. The problem I see with Brissett, if he's the guy that, God forbid, has to be the one running the show, I see the Dolphins still being a very tough out, still being a tough team to play that you don't want to play. I just don't see them having the ceiling of being able to go all the way at that point, because at some point you're going to need exceptional quarterback play to beat some of these teams. And Brissett has shown, honestly, consistently, he's never had exceptional quarterback play. He's a really good quarterback, great backup, glad to have him in this role, but his ceiling is just a little bit lower than where we expect Tua's ceiling to be.
Doug?
Absolutely. No, I completely agree. And to add to that, I will say what's exciting about Brissett, I mean, when good old Brady was out there deflating footballs, he stepped in and he did all right. I'll just say he just did all right. He was very early in his career. Then fast forward, he gets traded over to the Colts. Excuse me. He gets traded over to the Indianapolis Colts. But then Old Man Rivers comes to town, and
Old Man Rivers,
there to stink it up, give you. He's like an older Kirk Cousins, just to take him there to give you stats, but not really wins. That's another conversation. But I will say, I mean, from what I saw from him over in Indianapolis, he looked good, But I will say, I feel like they play different football, different styles of football, Brissett, and that could be to even our strength as well too. Because if somebody goes down, it's kind of like when Carson Wentz went down and when Foles took and came in. Surprise was the biggest element. You had no freaking clue that Nick Foles was going to take and win the Philadelphia Eagles a Super Bowl. Could that be our situation? I pray, again, God forbid. That's the key words right there, Cap for Life. I agree with you. God forbid that takes it happens. But if it does happen, there's no other person I'd rather have as our second string than Jacoby Brissett.
100%. Guys, I want to remind you, we are doing a Dolphin chat right now, a live Dolphin chat. So use the hashtag Dolphin chat, use the hashtag Clock Plackers to ask your questions. If you make any donation, it goes to the front of the line automatically and is answered by us 3. We try to trade off the rest of these questions. And any donation of $5 or more gets you entered into the DWA swag bag giveaway. All right, let's go to the next question here. Let's see here. Where is the next question? All right, hashtag Clock Pluckers. What is the most pivotal for the Fins to improve against the run? Jamie?
So Bernardrick McKinney, he was brought in for a reason to come in the middle. That's going to change things, right? He's going to come in. He's expected to be a key role to this defense, not just the fact of his skill in there. when he was with Houston, there were times where he would line guys up, call out the plays, be able to spot out what's going on in that backfield. Bernardrick McKinney, the play that he brings to this team, if he does what he's supposed to do, the Dolphins' run defense overall would be better. If Bernardrick McKinney is not what we wanted him to be, the defense against the run will not be improved. It's just as simple as that.
All right, Cap for life. I think there was a chat going on in the thing, but I am interested to hear your thoughts, Doug. Who is our third quarterback?
Oh yeah, no, I saw that. I saw D-Dub up in there saying QB3 is Lynn Bowden and fourth is Malcolm Perry. I freaking love this. You know why this makes me excited? Because trick plays. I love trick plays.
All day.
Whether it be in Madden or even watching the Kansas City Chiefs doing crazy stuff, we can have that in Miami. We got two guys who can play receiver and Perry and Bowden, and they can also do kick returning type stuff. They could play running back. I mean, again, it's about having tools for different situations. You know, if I'm building a furniture set, I'm going to need certain types of tools. If I'm building a bed, I'm going to need certain types of tools. If I'm doing carpentry, I'm going to need a saw. That's a different type of tool. That's where these guys can fit into our scheme. You know, I would have to say, but to answer the question, to get to a point, I would say Lynn Bowden, just because he had more time at quarterback when he was at Kentucky. Was it Kentucky or Kansas? Please forgive me. But I know they got blue jerseys from that part of the country. But then Navy, Bowden. So Navy with Perry, he more so played, receiver and running back. He got more snaps at that. He did play quarterback as well, but predominantly in the option. So, but I would say Lynn Bowden would be a very comfortable number 3 for us.
Cap for life says, let me rephrase the question. Who is our third string quarterback? I personally think it's probably going to be Reed Sennett.
Matt, I would agree there.
I think we're going to see in the preseason games, which I don't think I've ever been excited about until this year. Like, I'm straight up excited to see preseason football because I want to see the depth of our team. But I am interested to see Reed Sennett because here's a reality. Looking at the Washington football team last year, I mean, that whole Tyler Henneke situation, that's a reality for any team. You get put into a situation, you need to know what do you have down in that depth. And I would probably agree. I think if it ever came to that in the middle of a game, Bowden is the guy who's taking snaps. But I also think that Reed Sennett is probably the guy the next week that if we needed somebody to dress, he would be the guy. Now, I want to knock on wood and say, God forbid any of this happens at all. But look, I mean, this is the question that is proposed. So I think that's what I think. Any thoughts?
No, I spot on there with who the backup's going to be. I question if they're going to actually carry two quarterbacks on the the roster decisions for the Dolphins are going to be huge, man. When I was looking at who they have signed right now and trying to get down to that 55, and
is it 55 this year?
I didn't see what they did with the COVID rules because I knew they were still talking about potentially having opt-out rules again. The Players Association is still lobbying for some things.
I feel like they should, because of the extra game, that you'll also see an expansion in the roster. So, from a 53-man maybe to a 55 or a 56, maybe even 57-man roster. Do you guys know anything about that or have any thoughts on that?
I would agree. And I think that's what's driving some of these talks to expand that roster, right, to a couple of extra players, right? And then the thing with that being said, to wrap this all together, is they're going to have some tough decisions. So do you carry more than two quarterbacks on the active roster? I got to see. I think Reed still qualifies for practice squad. That might be what happens, and they just carry two active guys. But there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent, and it's talent not just from some of the guys they picked up just in undrafted free agency, guys they picked up from other teams, plus all their draft picks that they've had for all these years, man. When you think about it, right? Malcolm Perry is a 7th round draft pick, right? And he's on the team. Like he's going to make this squad this year, maybe on worst case scenario, practice squad, but you have guys like that that are in there. So how do you cut this roster down? So we'll see what happens from a third quarterback, because I think they might only end up carrying two just because they got to figure out how to get these guys on the roster.
Guys, my main guy, fantasy fan panel, Pete. Deshaun Watson is taking Reed's sentence number 4 soon. Really, man? You got to start that this early in the morning, my guy?
I want no part of that.
I love your fantasy. I love fantasy, though,
man. I want no part of that.
I do. I love it. I love it. Where's TD when you need him? Where are my 2 in ears at?
Two are going to be just fine. He'll be just fine. No, I remember when that whole controversy broke out, man. It was crazy. It was like a civil war amongst people, the Tua fans on this side, and you had the Watson fans on this side. You know what I mean? The Tua fans had all the dick tugging jokes, and the Watson fans were saying, hey, you know, what's the name? Want to break his hip again? It was just crazy, man. It was crazy.
The Godfather asked, hashtag Dolphin chat. Will the Dolphins have 2 players this year with 10 plus sacks? Hashtag clock blockers. Doug?
I'm going to definitely take and say Wilkins for sure. Christian Wilkins.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I think this is his best year. Yeah.
That's a bold statement. I'm writing that one down. I'm keeping your receipt on that one, my guy.
Yes. Christian Wilkins will get 10 sacks. I think it'll be exactly 10 sacks. I don't think it's going to be like 15 or something like that. And if I had to take and say someone on the edge, what's the guy's name? I'm drawing a blank. Van Ginkel.
All right. This is the first time we've had some controversy, you and I. Let's go at it. Let's go. Okay, so you mean to tell me, Mr. Doug Smith, that Emmanuel Ogbah or Jalen Phillips is not going to be one?
I said it. I'm calling it, and then we'll look back on this episode like, damn, man, Doug was Nostradamus. He was Miss Cleo. He was Mr. Cleo. And he did it. He said it.
Note to self at time. Okay, all right, I'm writing this down. I'm keeping this receipt.
I'm taking the bet on Ogbah because it's a contract year for him too, and he wasn't far, So I say he gets that, and he has added attention, right? Jalen Phillips is going to command some attention when he makes a team, so definitely Ogbah. You heard what I said about Wilkins earlier, so I think he's going to do some damage. I don't know if Wilkins makes double digits, though. I just don't know because some of those hits in the backfield will be at the running backs. I don't know if it's going to be double-digit sacks, but Ogbah, take that to the bank.
They're getting Doug in the chat box. I'm just saying they're getting on him. I don't want no heat. I don't want no heat. I want the man back on the show. Don't hurt him too bad, guys.
Hey, huge fan of your content, man. But I said what I said. It don't change nothing.
But take Ogbah to the bank, man. Ogbah gets his double-digit sacks.
Dude,
Ogbah gets his Pro Bowl nod. He does his thing, man.
Ogbah and Phillips are going to be the best in the league at getting sacks and making that quarterback feel like just not in a like. I'm telling you right now, Josh Allen is going to have nightmares about Emmanuel Ogbah and Jalen Phillips.
Josh Allen is going to get a salad toss, man. That dude, he's the running game. He is the running game for Buffalo. I wanted to talk about this earlier. He is the running game. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. Even Cam Newton eventually felt them hits after a while, man. That dude's going to be a freaking ragamuffin. He's going to get tossed all around that field. Concussion protocol every other week, man. He's a beast. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but the AFC East got that much more better. You can't just go up in there and do what the hell you want to do. It caught everybody off guard. I mean, he must have had a great offseason. But yeah, Miami bringing it for sure.
Guys, make sure you guys we're going to be up here just for a little bit longer, but I want you guys to go ahead and put your Dolphins questions in #Dolphin chat, #clock blockers. We need some more questions from you guys. If you guys donate, your question goes to the front of the line. Any donation of $5 or more puts you and enters you into the DWA swag bag giveaway. So let's make that happen, guys. All right. Well, while we're waiting for some of these, let's see here. You know what? We had some interesting things. Cap for Life says Baker will get 10 sacks, bro. Okay. Mark says Baker, love that dude, but Baker getting 10, I can't wait for the season. Okay. Fantasy Panel says Wilkins is a role player, not a very good one either. Bad draft pick. Disagree with you there, Fantasy.
Yeah, I disagree with that one too.
Like, I don't think he's going to get 10 sacks. Let's not get that. I think he's a beast on the defensive line.
We got a defense full of wolves too, man. So it could be a lot of different people, man. Yeah, it could definitely be Emmanuel Ogbah. I mean, it could be Baker. It could be a lot of different people, man. So I mean, we could see Raekwon Davis possibly make a massive jump in year 2. So, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, we got to realize we got a defense full of wolves. So yeah, we'll see.
What were you about to say, Jamie? Guys, everybody hit that like button. Go
So
ahead,
a couple of things, right? When you have this defense this year is going to blitz a lot less, right? They used to blitz last season so much because they were trying to hide their deficiencies on defense, which was good, right? So they're going to blitz a lot less. But if they have two guys with double-digit sacks on that team next year, they're going to be the number one defense in the league. So I'm just I don't know if two people will do it, but if they did, that's what happens, man.
Wilkins says, or Carlos Rodriguez says, Ingram will get 10 plus sacks when he signs with us next week. God, from your mouth to God.
That would have been my pick, but he ain't signed yet.
Okay, all right. Saxman, what happens with the third round pick from last year, Brandon Jones? Does he get playing time? Also, does Iggy take the next step and get more playing time this year? All right, I want Jamie to answer Brandon Jones, and I want Doug to answer about Iggy because I know you like Iggy. Go ahead, Jamie. Go first.
Yeah, so Jones, this is Jones's chance this season, right? If he doesn't pick it up this season and consider him to be one that they figured, hey, this pick didn't hit. And the reason why I say that is, Steven, you remember this coming into the draft this year when people were picking who the Dolphins will draft and what are their needs on the board. Nobody on our roundtable or our panel said safety. I was the only one screaming from the roof saying safety, and everybody's looking at me like, why would they go safety? They have Brandon Jones. They're good at safety, and I'm like, nah, they're reforming the safety group, right? So Jones is supposed to be able to compete with Holland a little bit, and they're supposed to fit in a little bit on that back end. And again, it's that versatility, right? What Flores is looking for is guys that he can go and put on an island out there at times, guys that he can come and bring into the box at times. So Jones has been there for a little bit to learn this defense. So we will see early. He will get a chance to play early, earn his spot there. But if you don't see him start picking up by time game 3, game 4, and getting playing time, consider him to be, somebody that the Dolphins will, thank for their service eventually and move on from.
All right. What about Iggy, Doug?
Iggy, I'm gonna answer this, but I'm gonna assume that this is Noah.
Noah.
Yeah. No, okay, all right. Just making
sure. Because I call him Iggy. I can't say his last name for the life of me. I'm trying to 80 million 6 weeks to Sunday.
Man, so I out of all our draft picks last year, I was very unimpressed by Noah Igbeneghu. Very unimpressed. What? Yeah. Oh, dude, the first 4 games were terrible. He sucked. He blew so many coverages, man. There was so many touchdowns being thrown on him. Yeah, I really wasn't a fan. I'll be honest with you. Now towards the end of the year, he
I feel like you are a supporter of him. I feel like you like him now.
I like his so what word I'm looking for. I like his speed. I mean, I like his speed and the possibility. He does have a high ceiling if he could get it right. Now, everything that I've heard this offseason has been nothing but good. So obviously he's going to have another shot and stuff like that. I mean, the guy was a first round pick. He's going to be with us for a bit. But I definitely want to take and see him make that jump. So to answer the question, I definitely see him get more playing time if what I'm reading in the articles is correct, that Noah Igbeneghu is ultimately making that jump. But yeah, as far as like man coverage and stuff like that, that was I've seen a lot better. And I don't know if you guys remember, I think it was mid-season. I think he got benched for a few games, or like
he did. I don't think he got benched, but he definitely wasn't getting a lot of playing time. I don't know.
Yeah. He got and here's the thing, it's like it goes back to the Tua conversation. Tua's a rookie. Noah Igbeneghu's a rookie. Raekwon Davis, Brandon Jones, so forth, rookie. So these guys are going to get better. Even if we nail on 90% of them, man, I'll be very happy. But I do think he makes a jump in year 2 for sure, and I think he gets more PT for sure.
Shout out to Fantasy Panel for sending in another donation to helping the channel grow. I appreciate that. I need y'all a lot longer this morning. I'm driving far. Okay. Hex, Baker are stars this coming season. Offense, Preston Williams, my dark horse for comeback player of the year, 10 plus touchdowns. I'm assuming you just want to know our thoughts on that comment. Jamie, why don't you go first? What do you think of Fantasy's comments there?
I love Preston Williams. Preston Williams was a steal. Preston Williams should not have ever had a chance to make it to be available for the Miami Dolphins. You want to know what Preston Williams can be? Go back and look at the game where he injured himself with him playing with Tua. He became Tua's favorite target. You want to talk about chemistry? The chemistry was there. If that guy was still on the team, we would be saying some things a little bit differently about Tua coming down at the end of the year, because Tua trusted that dude. What I'm hoping for, we know really what that injury was because the Dolphins lied to us a little bit. They kept saying he might come back because they wanted to use that to have teams prepare for Preston Williams. Preston Williams is still rehabbing. If that dude comes back, he will make the team. He will surprise some people. That is a starting wide receiver with some special skills. So yes, comeback player of the year possibility. Maybe the only thing why temper people's statistics on any offensive skill player for the Miami Dolphins this year, they're all going to be all the ones that make the team are going to be good. The problem is the Dolphins are going to scheme up an offense that attacks whoever they're playing, and it's going to be different stars each week. There's going to be some weeks where Waddle's going to be the guy that's just, torching his dude because you know what? We got a mismatch over here. There's going to be some games where Gesicki is just, he's the guy because they can't match up against him. There's going to be some games where Parker is just, the defense is so good, you're just throwing 50-50 balls up there. So I don't see any one skill player having this monstrous season because the offense is just not going to be that. However, within that offense, he's going to be a valuable piece and he's going to shock some people and show, hope if he's healthy and stays healthy, he's going to show some people what that value is that they got for this guy.
Guys, I want to remind everybody, if you guys send in any donation of $5 or more, you're entered to win the DWA swag bag gift set. I appreciate all the donations. They actually go to, it was funny because I just had where's it at? Where is Eugene Hart said, "Hey, Steven, I like the new mic." Yes. Hey, look, I'm trying to get better. Last week, somebody said that I sounded a little bit jumbled with my old microphone. So some of your donations go for better equipment to be able to make a better program and better content for you guys. So thank you. You guys are helping the channel grow when you guys make a donation. That's a big, big deal. We got a few more things that I just want to get into. Godfather asked, hashtag Dolphin Chat, how many sacks and interceptions will Miami D end up with as a team total? Hashtag Clock Blockers. I'm going to answer this one first, okay, guys, for a change, because I love this question. Number one, it's the Godfather who sent it. So, look, I personally think, all right, go ahead and get ready to kill me or trash me in here because this is going to sound like a homer answer. We're going to get 20-plus sacks and 15-plus interceptions this year as a defense. 20-plus sacks, 15-plus interceptions. And I think that could be on the low side. What do you guys think?
All right. For sacks, I'm going to take and say we get slightly over 30.
Okay.
So we get slightly over 30. And I'm right there with you with the interceptions. I'll take and say we get 17 interceptions. Those are my concrete numbers.
Jamie?
So for sacks, we had 41. I was looking at what it was last season, right? So it was 41 last season. We're going to blow that out of the water.
Oh, well, then I want to change my answer. Can I change my answer? Let me say we're going to get 60 sacks this year.
52.
Yeah, so I'm with you on that, right? There's no way they take a step back on that. They're going to be in people's faces for that. Interceptions, the total on interceptions last season was 12, 14, 16, 17, 18. There were 18 last season. I say we topped that too. I said it's going to be 25 interceptions this season. This team had a turnover every game last season. They're going to continue that streak, continue that long streak that's running. So the defense, the offense, here's the reason why I say the defense is going to be improved. Not so much because of the players they added, right? The offense is going to be better. With the offense improving, the Dolphins' whole point last season was to try to get a lead first, so then the defense could jump on teams, right? If the offense is better, they're going to be able to play from ahead a lot more. Imagine playing with the lead of 2 or 3 scores, and you can just do whatever you want to do in defense. So I see an increase on both numbers.
Hashtag Dolphin Chat. Do you see any way that Kirk Merritt makes the 53 or 55 man roster? Miami native said earlier in the chat that supposedly it was announced earlier this week or late last week that it would be a 55 man roster this year for the NFL. So I'll have to double check on that, but that sounds right. So if it is, does Kirk Merritt make this roster? Doug or Jamie, either one of you can take this.
I'm gonna take this. I like Kirk Merritt, man. I like Kirk Merritt a lot. I mean, Young's 24 years old, has good size on him. I'm gonna take and say no, just because we have so much talent in the building. We have so much talent in the building, but I want him to make the team. I'm not like going against him at all whatsoever. But just with so much talent in the building, and if he does make it, it's gonna be really, really close. Possibly even be a practice squad player potentially.
So help me work this out together, right? So Parker, right? Waddle, Fuller, Bowden.
Yep.
Let's assume Preston Williams healthy. That's 5.
Jakeem Grant. That's the question. So real quick, that's the real question. The real question before any of these questions asked is, where's Jakeem Grant this year? I have said on many different platforms, TDs, Doug's, when Reason was on with me the other day, Jakeem's gone. He is not on this team.
Well, my whole thing with I see where you come from, because he's not the best receiver. I mean, the guy, he's just not the best catcher. He's not, but he does bring value to us in the kick return game. And I don't want to see our Waddle out there getting banged up, taking returning punts. You know what I mean?
So are you taking 7? There's no way we're keeping 7. You have to in order, and Jamie, so you have to keep them, bro.
Well, then it comes back to, are we keeping 3 quarterbacks or 2 quarterbacks? I said we're keeping 2.
I think it's going to be 2.
Yeah.
Just
I think it's
because
2 as well too.
You have so many skilled players. I'm going to get myself in trouble, man. Since Doug already put himself out there in the comments today, I'm going to put myself up for suicide right now. And it's just because I study stats, right? There's a chance Jakeem Grant makes the team, a very good chance. And the reason why is this. Yeah, he has this reputation for not good hands, but look up who led the team in drops last season. It wasn't Grant. His actual drop percentage was pretty low. The problem with Grant
is Devontae?
Vontae was up there pretty high. And don't get me wrong, Vontae had a lot of targets. So to be fair, right? But like the thing is with Grant is just when he does drop the ball, it's home run plays. So we remember
Seattle.
That. Yeah.
Seattle.
Remember that.
Seattle.
But what I do want to tell people is when you look at the stats, you got to go back. It made me watch some more film, just particularly on him, to figure out like, why is this happening? When you look at him, the plays he does make, look at the Arizona game. Grant kept us in that game, actually. And that was with a lot of the receivers being down. He didn't have a lot of drops. He made some big catches. He actually had a touchdown catch in that game. So I think they like his toughness and his speed. It's going to be tough. I wouldn't want to be the ones making decisions on these, on which one of these guys they keep, because somebody who is a fan favorite to be cut, Jakeem Grant, you just heard the case to make him. And the other thing is, as much as the Dolphins like the kick return skills that Waddle brings, man, I really, really, really don't want to see my man back there returning kicks and punts. I don't care how good he is at it, man. I don't want to see it, man. I would pay. Let's pay Jakeem Grant. Let's start a GoFundMe to have Jakeem Grant return kicks for the Miami Dolphins.
Oh man, hell no.
From doing it.
No, you over here trying to? Nope, not happening. Hey, Portia, come get your nephew. Your auntie said she's watching. You gotta come get your nephew over here. He talking this foolishness.
Hey, Portia, love you, man.
All right. Let's see here. What else? Oh, hey, shout out to Drew, the latest member to donate to the channel. Drew, you are now added into the DWA swag bag giveaway. Super excited for you. If you play Madden, Grant is the only thing that saves you when they cover Gesicki and Parker. Grant will be on special teams at the very least. Let's get something straight here, Drew. Number one, I appreciate you watching the channel, and I appreciate your donation. Keep them coming. Number two, no way that a Pro Bowler, right, somebody who made second team, didn't he make second team NFL, for the NFL, second All-Pro?
Yeah.
And he was a Pro Bowler at his position. There is no way that we are just restricting him to special teams. That's just not going to happen. So here's a reality, okay? Reality is we are overcrowded, which is a great problem to have at wide receiver, right? Yeah. Number two, there is people are trying to be like, hey, we don't want Waddle to return punts or kicks. I understand the reason, but he won't be the first one to do it. And he damn sure won't be the last. That's two. Number three, I don't think Grant is better, healthy, by the way, than Preston or Lynn Bowden. I think Preston and Lynn Bowden are better than Grant at the wide receiver position, right?
Correct.
So
but
I think
Grant better than him at kick returning.
That's fine, but I think the wide receiver takes precedent. And if you can go out and trade Grant for a 5th or a 4th round pick, which you could easily, maybe even a little bit more, maybe a 3rd, right? Why not do it? Why not get something for him? Because if he doesn't do anything this year, guess what? You're not getting nothing for him in the future. And you're going to have to eat his contract. Get rid of him. That's my vote.
Well, check it out. So he got, I'm looking at his stats right now. Let me see.
Guys, 46 lights. I want to get to 60 before we get off here.
When we get 60,
that's 14 more lights.
If you haven't hit that like button again so far, hit that like button right now. Let's go. Hit it. I want to see those numbers go up.
Let's go. 46 likes. We want to get to 60. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. No. I mean, the guy, he gets kick returns every year, whether it be punt returns or even kick returns. And, I mean, Coach Flores, I mean, he does put a huge emphasis. This is just a thing to think about. He does put a huge emphasis on special teams as well, too. I mean, that's a huge part. That's the third part of the game: offense, defense, and then special teams. So, this may just be a year where, yeah, man, we have 7 or 8 wide receivers. You know, I just don't see Grant touching the field as far as a wide receiver. I see it being more possibly special teams.
So the thing is, right? So you always hear Flores say you can't have too many defensive backs, right? And it's because of the versatility and how they move guys around. And also, as if a guy goes down, you don't want to have a drop off at that position, right? Would plague these Dolphins, even as much as we put it on Tua and everything that was going on, right? We had games out there where it was the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th wide receiver as the starters, right? And you're trying to muster up an offense, right? Trying to get guys out there. So I think the reason why they loaded up and said, we're not going to cut these guys outright to start out with. We have a bunch of good guys. Because what I didn't bring up earlier, I was trying to remember as I was counting through my fingers, trying to remember, who am I forgetting? Forgot Albert Wilson, thinking of that. I forgot Hearns, right? There's a lot of guys there. And I think what they're going to try to do is they might stash who they can stash on the practice squad, who they like, and try to keep them there in the sense of injury, and then try to keep their best. If
Kirk Merrick goes on the practice squad, he's getting claimed, bro. Like, that's going to happen.
Yeah, but you know what happens there too, right? Sometimes they tell these guys, like, sometimes they pay these guys a little bit more in the practice squad, and also tell them, like, hey, you know, we see a promise for you here, to try to incentivize them to try to, you know, want to stick with their team on the practice. Who knows what happens there? But I see them stashing some of these guys there, man.
D-Dub says, what team would trade for Jakeem when they could just get him on waivers? Bro, I'm trying to tell you right now, there's no way we release him. That's not going to happen, right? And there's no way that he's getting put, like, down on this. Like, he's just, like, it's just not going to happen. So Greer is smart enough to put him in something that he is. I'm just telling you right now, I think that there is a team that is out there that says, you know what? We're special teams wide, you know, returner away from what did he say in draft day? I want Putney. Give me Putney too, right? And so I think that there's got to be somebody out there that's looking for a Putney to return their kicks.
Hey, but one thing to remember, right? The Dolphins were the team that drafted a long snapper in the draft before the final round. So they value special teams, man. So if they think that Grant is their guy for that position, they want the guy at every spot. So, you know, that might be something that
Miami Native says, value. I see us using 7 wide receivers.
Same.
Bro, that's a lot of wide receivers, guys.
I agree, Miami Native.
But you needed them.
That's a lot of wide. No, we need running backs, bro.
No. You need good running backs, not the quantity of running backs, right? But look at your receivers last year. How many injuries did we have at the receiver position last season?
I get
Parker
that.
lost
I understand
time, right? Preston Williams lost time. Albert Wilson was already opted out. Hearns was already opted out. Who else got injured? Like pretty much every receiver missed games last season, right? Who cares who your quarterback is if they have nobody to throw to?
12 more likes to go, guys. 48 likes. Hit that like button. Doug, what do they need to be doing right now?
Man, they need to be hitting that damn like button, man. Before you sub to my page or Jamie's stuff, hit that like button.
Hey. But when you guys go to the touchdown with Doug Smith, y'all need to make sure you're subscribing to his stuff too.
It, thank you, brother. Yes, I appreciate it. But this is just such a tough question, man. But I do agree with Miami native. I do believe that this is just a rare off occasion where we have 7 wide receivers. Now I saw one thing. He says if we walk it like I talk it. He said if we're dependent on Grant, we're in trouble. I wouldn't call it. He brings up a good point, but I don't think it's us dependent on him. I just feel like he plays his role, and that's in special teams. You keep him fresh for punt returns. You keep him fresh for kick returns, and then we're pretty much good. But someone's going to get sacked. There's going to be a sacrificial lamb, and it's never going to feel good. I always have that knot in my stomach, the final week of preseason when they're making their cuts for the final roster, and I'm like, no, I wanted him on the team. But this will be another year where us Dolphins fans, where it's exciting because we finally know who's going to make the roster. But at the same time, it's just like, damn, man, I really wanted that person on the team. So I'll admit my biases. Sometimes you want a person on your team for the rest of their career to be like, yeah, they were a Dolphin, they didn't play for nobody else. But also know that's not the world we live in at the same time. So.
Guys, my headphones, my Bluetooth headphones died. Can you guys hear me good?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
So the other thing, man, is you need insurance at this position. I think I keep preaching that, right? Your top 2 wide receivers have an extensive injury history, right? And I like them. But Parker, he played through injury the entire season last year. He tried not to give up a game, but in the year before, he actually had to miss games because of that, right? You got Fuller coming in. I don't think Fuller's ever completed a full season, and he's not going to do one this year either because week 1 he's out finishing his suspension, right? So you look at those guys, and if I'm saying Preston Williams is going to make it back, he's not been healthy an entire season yet either. 3 of your top key guys you already know has a history. You got to look at history a little bit to say, what do you like those guys? You want those guys, but if they start dropping out in games, you got to have somebody else, or you just threw another season away. So I do see them loading up and carrying more guys than they typically would have. Which 7 they are, that's still up for debate, but I think the number is going to be close to 7.
All right. Marcus J., a Miami Sports Music YouTube member. By the way, you guys need to become like Marcus. You guys sign up today, become a member like Marcus J. You guys hit that join button on our homepage. Become a member like Marcus. I know you guys want to be more like Marcus. Yes.
Hey, Steven, I want to tell you the comment section has been lively today. You have some awesome people that support your show, God. Man. I want to just give a shout out to all of those guys out there, man. Miami native, Cisco Ortiz, Cap for Life, Carlos Rodriguez, Fantasy Fan Panel, man. You guys, this is awesome,
the best part of the show, bro. It is the best part of the show is seeing all these people in the comment box. Not just on a show here and there. All those people you just named, every morning, diehards.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. I love that.
I love them. They're my Finlaws, and I wouldn't want to do the show without them. They're just fins up all day. They are absolutely amazing. Marcus says, what would a great season for Will Fuller look like? What would an average season look like? # Dolphin Chat.
Yeah, this one. One word, healthy.
Yeah.
One word, healthy. It's just that Fuller is one. I play fantasy football. Not very good. Probably not the person you want to take fantasy advice from. But I play fantasy football a lot, man. And Fuller is, dude, he's just a fantasy points machine when he's healthy. And I followed him pretty much since his rookie year in the National Football League. And his jump ball is stupid. Triple man coverage, double man coverage. It's going to be him healthy. Now, what makes me excited is that he took a very team-friendly deal. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was 1 year, $8 million. I think ballpark in that field.
It can get up to 10. I think it can get up to 10, but you're there.
Yeah, and again, it comes down to he wants to prove that he could be healthy. He knows that's a problem. He has to take and be healthy the whole year. So the good news is that, hey, if Devontae Parker's thinking that, and Preston Williams is thinking that, do you imagine what things we can do if just everybody stays healthy? I know it's probably not going to happen, but Will Fuller is a person who is going to extend Tua Tagovailoa's deep ball for sure. And I could definitely see him he has very similar skills to Preston Williams, except maybe a little bit more refined, in my opinion. So, but again, to answer your question, it would be healthy.
I want to jump on that real quick, and I'll be fast on that, Steven. The home.
No, take your time. You're good.
All right, he's the home run hitter, man. Like his yards per reception are over 15 yards. This guy for his career is 15 yards per reception. Last year was 16, almost 17 yards per reception. You know what that does for the offense? A good year for him doesn't mean that he has 10 touchdowns. It doesn't mean that he has 15 touchdowns. It doesn't mean that he has 1,000 yards. All he has to do is catch 2 or 3 or 4 of those in a while, right? Just catch those bombs. And you know what just happens to that? Defenses are screwed. That's when you're going to see Myles Gaskin start to have good games, because guess what? I got to go chase Fuller. I can't let him get behind me. So what does that do? That keeps the guys out of the box, right? If Fuller's doing his thing, you know what that does? That gives guys across the middle. That's going to get Waddle giving guys in space. And you don't want to give Waddle some space, man. You don't want to give that guy space. You know what that does? If he takes it over the top, Parker's going to get one-on-ones. Parker does not need to be one-on-one. He will look like a Pro Bowl receiver one-on-one. So all this dude needs to do is be what he does and make sure when he does get targeted that he does make those catches of over 15 yards per clip, because then everybody starts to look good and everybody eats.
Guys, we got a new member, baby. Saxman J. Will is a part of the family. Welcome to the family. Welcome. Mwah. I'm so excited that you're part of the family, Saxman J. Will. You keep doing what you're doing, coming up every morning. Super. You're going to make me cry this morning, Saxman J. Will. Another person part of the DWA family. Walk it like we talk it. Hallelujah. He said, pass the offering. I like it.
We're taking them to church on Memorial Day, man.
I love it. Gospel. All right. Cap for Life says, Miami native. Right now we have Saheem, Hunt, Collins, Gaskins, and Smythe, my dude. Remember, we have depth at the tight end position. Correct. The Godfather says, hashtag Dolphin chat. Vegas odds say Miami's 9.5 wins this year. I'm all 11 or 12 wins. Seems like a lot to me. Here. All right. So, bro, check this out. Godfather. For those of you who don't know who Mark NorCal Dolphin Angelo is, he is the man that put like everything together. Like the reason that Dolphins are united, a huge reason is this man. Like he brings Dolphins from all over the world together. So we call him if you hear me refer to him as the Godfather, he is the Godfather of the Finlaws. True story. Okay. He won't accept it, but he is. I said this, Godfather. I said that if Dolphins don't win 12 games, they don't make the playoffs. You have to win 12 games to get in the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
Agree, disagree, guys?
I agree. I think 11 might. I think honestly 10 might even get you there this year, even though it didn't get you there last year. Yeah.
Even with an extra game?
Well, yeah. I think it's so. If you look at it last season, right? The AFC was bunched up, right? There were a lot of teams that spread that it wasn't just a dominant runaway, right? That you had last year. If you look at even our division, the games are going to be spread apart a little bit differently, right? Like I said earlier, the Bills will not be sweeping the AFC East division. So the spread around of games is going to bump down a little bit. So 11 games may get you in this year. 12, 13 is going to be some people are going to win their division at 12 and 13 games.
I mean, bro, like here's a reality, man. You're got the extra game makes it even tougher. It makes it even tougher. And here's Buffalo's getting in. There's no doubt. Okay. So Buffalo's in, and then it's us. And I like to think that we'll take the division. Right. That's what I think. Right. I'm not just being a homer like I went and did my stuff. So that means there's 7. 7 teams this year again, or only 6?
No, it's still increased. That's going forward, right?
All right. So, I mean, look, if you go to, the Chiefs are in, right? And is there another team from the AFC West going to get in? I don't think the Broncos get in. I don't think the Chargers get in just yet. And the Raiders, I think, are borderline, but I don't know if they'll get in.
Maybe Ravens, possibly.
Well, that's it. So you go to the AFC North. Ravens, Steelers are in. Maybe even the Bengals.
Don't sleep on the Browns, man.
I mean, yeah, like here's a reality.
Yeah, that's true.
All 4 of those teams could get into the playoffs. All 4. Like they're all Burrow and the Bengals have a big step.
You just proved my point. That's the point I'm trying to make, why I said that 10, 11 might get you there, because you just named a division. These guys all have to play each other.
I understand that, but still, even if they all split down the middle, Jamie, that's only 3 losses apiece.
But I'm saying, that still drops them down to get to that impressive mark of 13, 14. Look at what the Bills did. The Bills swept their division and pretty much beat a lot of people. And look at what their total was. They still weren't too far off. They weren't sitting at 14 wins, right? And they swept their division. So think about what you have to do to get to those numbers. That's why I'm saying that lower number might get you there, because a lot of these teams are going to be better. The NFC East is not going to be as bad as it was last year, man. The Dallas Cowboys are not going to be sitting there trying to fight to win 6 games this year.
Jansen said Bengals will be last in their division. Bro, don't sleep on Burrow, bro. Don't sleep on the Bengals.
Burrows is a dog, man. That dude.
Don't I agree they probably could be last place in that division, but the AFC North is a beast, bro.
But they could be last place with 7 wins or 8 wins. That's still pretty decent, man, for them in that division.
NorCal says Chargers will sneak in, I think, this year. Herbert versus Tua, wild card round. Fins win.
I hope that game's in Miami.
Woo! Bro, let me tell you, if that goes down, NorCal, bro, oh my God. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, that will be like, all right, did we pick the right guy? Or, that'll be the question. I mean, oh my God. Oh, like just thinking about it gets my heart racing. Like that'll be crazy. So, all right, let me ask you guys something before we wrap. We got to 50 likes. I wanted to get to 60. We got to 50. I need 10 more people to hit that like button real quick. And if more people want to become a member, like my man Saxman J. Will just did, shout out to Saxman becoming the newest YouTube member. Guys, hit that join button on the homepage. I would love to see you guys become a member and sign up. Any donation over $5 today also enters you all week long to win a DWA swag bag. Should probably be a hat in there, a shirt, and a few other cool, amazing items that the Honorable Solo D will be sending your way. So make sure you guys donate to the channel, because if any donation helps our channel grow, it helps us improve the quality of our show. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to improve the quality of what we bring out to you guys and ladies, morning in and morning out. We are the #1 Miami fan morning show for a reason, because we get up every day, or I get up every day.
You get up every day, buddy.
From Monday through Friday to bring you guys.
And we love you for it.
Hey man, I want to keep on doing it, man, but I can't do it alone, and I need your help to grow. The schedule real quick. Is there any games that stand out to you that I just want to talk to you guys briefly about? Because for me, it's the Ravens.
Can I jump on this first?
Yeah, go ahead.
The reason why I wanted to jump on it first, because I know you're probably going to go deep into the schedule. I just want to say this. It goes back to my article that dropped today. Please go to 305sports.net. It's going to be a good read. Look up the article, Take Tua, because I talked about a couple of games on the schedule that stand out to me. The Dolphins in this Take Two season start off the same way they started off last season, which is on the road against New England and at home against Buffalo. Last season, the Dolphins lost both games. We were talking about making the playoffs just now. Yes, it's a long season, but you don't want to come out of the gates starting 0-2 in the division when the possibility of one of those guys might be 2-0 in the division and trying to chase them the rest of the way. The other thing is a litmus test. If the Dolphins start off this season and they're able to split or even, beat both of those teams and start off 2-0, that shows you how much better they are. That shows you that they came here and said, we did the right things. And that's going to be momentum. Those guys are going to start believing, which makes them so much harder to beat next season. So I didn't even get beyond the first 2 games. For me, the most important games this season are how they come out in week 1 and week 2. And if they come out 2-0, man, somebody, you're going to have to calm me down. You don't want me on your show.
Hey, Doug, real quick before you go, I just want to let everybody know I put a link to your new article through the chat. So if you guys go to the chat and click on the link, you guys can go to Jamie Bahamas' new Take Tua article from 305sports.net. Go ahead, Doug. Sorry about that, bro.
Oh, no, you good. You good. No worries, man. There's a couple games as the Raiders because everybody was like, oh, lucky play. Nah. But the team that I am most excited about, man, is going to be on October 10th at 1 p.m. I'm actually going to try to catch that game in person. It's going to be against the Super Bowl champions, the Buccaneers, because I want to see how we do. And we can win that game. We got the personnel to do it. We got the coaching to do it. We got the quarterback because it's Tua time. We can do it.
Yo, you do know, my guy, that we own Mr. Tom Brady in the state of Florida. So I don't care.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This ain't no different. Absolutely. This ain't no different, man. The cannons ain't going to be taken and going off. And if they do, it'll be from when the Miami Dolphins just run up the score. I'm excited. But that game right there, I mean, that's important. That's an important game because we're going against the defending champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So
you want to talk about confidence the way I was talking about confidence? The Dolphins go in and win that game in Tampa. Oh my God, man. That momentum coming out of there. I'm
calling out of work the next day, man.
I want to give real quick. I want to give a huge shout out to Marcus. Marcus, you are correct, sir. You are here every morning. Chef, D-Dub, A-Rod, Fan, Panel, and Cap. All of you guys have been here since day one, and I could not do the show without you guys. And I really mean that. I'm not just blowing smoke. Like, you guys are legit, so supportive, and I love coming on every morning because I want to know what's going on with you guys and how your lives are going and how your morning's going. And it's been one of the best parts about doing the show on a morning in, morning out basis. So, Marcus, yes, big shout out to you. Big shout out to Chef and D-Dub, A-Rod, Fantasy Panel, and Cap. All you guys are absolutely amazing. Look, the games for me that really I look forward to, Cisco Ortiz wrote the last wild card will be the Titans. And then Mark Nocal said Titans are done. We'll throttle them on New Year's Day. FanFest TPP. So look, it's going to be a great game. Hey, there's a couple more things I want to talk about, but I know, Doug, you got to head out of here. You got to split, my guy. So I want to give you the opportunity to promote your show and, all your social media so that people know exactly where to find you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And first and foremost, thank you so much.
Man, this is not the last time you're up here, man. You're up here again, my guy.
You're coming back very soon. Very, very, very soon. And man, just everything from your fans to you, Jamie, to you, Steven, man, Solo D, the whole Miami sports music, man. You guys are the real rock stars, man. I really appreciate you guys having me on. But yeah, you could catch my show. It's called The Touchdown with Doug Smith. If you typed it in on YouTube, you'll come to my channel. Now I cover the whole NFL. Y'all know I'm a thoroughbred. 100%. I even got jumped in elementary school in San Diego for being a Dolphins fan by some disgusting Chargers fans.
They don't want that life.
I'm baptized by violence. I'm a real fan.
That's why they don't have a team anymore.
But I will say I cover the whole NFL. So I had Rondale Moore from the Cardinals on my show about 5 weeks ago. We cover the whole NFL. So I would say about a quarter of all the content I do is Miami Dolphins based, though. But yeah, check me out. YouTube, The Touchdown with Doug Smith. Instagram, The Touchdown with Doug Smith. TikTok, I am The Touchdown. That's it. And then Twitter, I'm not on there very frequently. I need to be. That one is going to be Touchdown Doug. So yeah.
Dude, thank you so much for coming on this morning. I had so much fun hanging out with you and talking with you.
Absolutely.
Like I said, man, you do such a good show, and I want to work with you more. I'd love to come on your show and vice versa. I want you to come on here and do your thing, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got it, man. We this ain't the last time. I'm gonna have y'all on soon, very, very, very soon.
Hey, Doug, it's been a pleasure, man.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. God bless, man. Y'all have a good night.
Have a good one, boys.
Peace.
All right, man. So, look, man, it's always good to hang out with other people from the world of YouTube, man. He great one. Devore says he's got good content. 100%, man. Totally agree. Totally, absolutely agree. He's such a great guy. Jamie, that was fun this morning, right?
Yeah, man, this was awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, you bring the heat every morning. So what? I just wanted to ride along on your coattail today, man.
That's all right, man. I like when I have multiple guest co-host with me. It makes my job so much easier, and it makes my job so much funner. Look, man, what do you have coming up this year? I mean, look, I guess the first question is, because people were asking it earlier in the comment box, what games are you going to this year? Because I know people want to meet you.
If God's willing, man, I will be at every game. Come find me, okay? Every home game, that is. I'll try to make my way around. I try not to stay still so I can meet a lot of people and, say hi. So if you see me when I'm at the games, I'll be wearing my custom jersey. It has my name, Bahamas, on the back. So, I see a lot of people, and you don't get to see the faces of you guys that we meet on virtually, or I don't get to see all the people that are giving all that support. I see a lot of readers on my articles, and I really appreciate that. So if you see me at the stadium this year at the Hard Rock, please come up, say hi. We probably could get a drink together. We could talk about the Dolphins together. So looking forward to seeing and meeting a lot of you guys at the stadium.
Well, the good Lord willing, we might even, I feel like I can put this in there without jinxing anything. Hopefully we'll have a pregame show.
That's what I'm talking
about.
If
that happens, you and I are definitely going to be the anchors of that, which I'm super stoked about. So there's a lot. Again, we need this channel to grow. We want this thing to grow. And your donations help us do that. So all the donations that we're sending this morning, I'm flattered by that you guys think enough of me and Miami Sports Music and the brand to want to donate. It really, really means a lot. I know how hard you guys work for any amount of money you get, and especially in today's world. So the fact that you gave me even a cent just means that I really, I really take a lot of pride in what I do. And so I really appreciate the love and respect that everybody does when they donate. And if you're not able to donate from a monetary standpoint, your likes mean the world to me, because, YouTube's all about algorithms and everything. So the more likes and the more shares you get, all that stuff helps, man. It's such a big thing. And, definitely want to make it. Cisco Ortiz says, great show. Can't wait to see everybody at the Rock. Touchdown with Doug Smith says, thank you guys so much for having me on. God bless. Miami native, I will be at Buffalo game home opener. Mark Norcal says, Jamie, come visit us November 5th through the 7th. He said, let me try to make that work. Mark Norcal says, fan club weekend. That's the Houston game, guys. That's going to be a fun weekend. If you've never been to fan club weekend, it'll be during the Houston Texans home game this year. Go on Facebook, look up fan club weekend. Mark, if you want to put more information on that so people can look up where to go, that'd be great. And then Fan Fest TPP, the Positive Porpoise, I'm going to be at that as well. My hope is to be at all the games this year, all the home games and a few of the away games, like Fan Fest, TPP, the MetLife Takeover, and a couple of other things. The goal is that we're putting out some great content. We're doing stuff from all these fan clubs this year. I want to go to London. That's whew. That one's going to be tough to swing. But I love Fins Nation UK, which we're going to have more stuff with them in the coming weeks. So I am super excited about doing stuff with them, man. And I'm excited to see you this year, man. It was for a long time, you and I never could get to, we would always be in the weekend in the same area and never get up to meet with each other.
But what's funny, Steven? This is something to share with all the readers so they understand, all the listeners, so they see how funny this is, right? So you and I live in the same state and also travel to the same state. So for the entire football season, we're in the exact same location, talking to each other at times, and could never cross paths. It was hilarious. There are times where I'm in Miami and I'm like, yo, where are you at? Yo, I'm at this tailgate. I'm walking over to that tailgate. I get there. You're not there. You ask where I'm at. And we're still crossing each other. And then, flying back to Maryland, still not catching up with each other. I'm like, you know what? This is funny, but this
hey, look who said good morning.
Let's make it happen this year. When people have to see us in the same place at least once, okay?
Dude, I want that to happen, man. Well, look, the goal is this year that we get the pregame show. And if we get the pregame show official, we'll see each other eight times this year at minimum, which will be huge. Michael Burton, Finn's boys. Michael, I love Michael. For those of you who do not follow Michael Burton, Michael, put your social media in the box. People need to follow you, my guy. Also, I need y'all to go follow me on social media. Real talk, at Stephen D. SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. At Stephen D. SKPL. Please go follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I need all that. I need as many likes and as follows as I can get from you guys. Duke Tomlinson. Duke, what's up? Sorry, I just got here. That's all right. You can hit the replay button. We're here for you. That's why we do this on YouTube, so you can go and replay it every morning. Rob G. Rob is a huge supporter of the show, Jamie. He's been here like every morning too.
And your supporters are awesome, Steven. Like, I really gonna try to get a chance to come and join you on the show again at some point. But this has been awesome, man. The energy that they bring here and what you do and what you bring here for them, man. This is awesome. Cock blockers, this show is for real, man. Love it. Thank you for having me.
Nah, man. Thank you for coming on. I love you guys. This afternoon show for the fans, I'm gonna have somebody that all of you know and love. I'm gonna have from East 32 Tailgates. Mr. Cameron Scott. Cameron's going to come onto the show this afternoon. He's going to tell me what it was like growing up as a Dolphins fan and a South Florida sports fan, and how the tailgate came to be at East 32, which is, for all intents and purposes, one of the most famous tailgates in all of sports. It really is. I'm not blowing smoke. Like people know from outside of Dolphins, outside of even football, East 32 tailgates, like it's a big deal. So I'm excited to have him on. It's definitely going to be absolutely awesome. Rob says, yeah, I'm used to hitting that replay. I like it. Great One Divorce says, what part of Maryland? I'm in Harford County.
And I'm in Owings Mills, right around from the Ravens facility.
Yeah. Rob G said, I love you, Steven. I love you too, man. No doubt about that. Rob says, appreciate the Fins content in the morning. Good stuff, Steven. Fins up. 57 likes. Awesome. All right. I'm not getting off till I get to 60. There's 59 likes. I said I was going to get to 60 likes. Let's go. Y'all about to make me proud. Y'all going to make me cry this morning. 60 likes. Come on. And I need one more person to sign up and become a member. Give me my 60 likes and give me a new YouTube member. Come on now. I know you guys want to. 60 likes in the building.
We just need 3 more. You got it? 3 more.
I got the 60. I got the 60. I would love to see whatchamacallit, somebody become a new YouTube member. Who wants to become a new YouTube member? Come on now. Come on. I know you want to. I know you want to join the show and be a part of the team and be like Marcus and Chef Ju and D-Dub and who else? Who else I got here? Who did we have sign up this morning? Let me move on back here so I can make sure. Saxman J. Will became the newest YouTube member earlier this morning. I would love to get another one before the morning's out, before we get off. We only got a couple more minutes. If you get 60, you have to do 10 more minutes.
Okay, I'll ride with you. I could co-sign with you.
All right, well, I got 62. If I get to 70, I'll do 10 more minutes. All right, so I'll give you 15 minutes if I get to 70. So let's keep it going. Let me see. I'm at 62 right now. So if I can get to 70, I'll do 15.
If you get to 70, let's talk about the running back situation. If you don't, we're not talking about the running back.
We're not talking about the running back situation. That's right. I like it. We get to 70. Let's do that. Rob G said, let's get to 70. You guys got to hit that share button and get more people to watch, man. Come on now, guys. 62 likes. If I get to 70, I'll stay on for 15 more minutes and we'll talk about the running back situation in depth. Rob G, once I get to work, I will definitely be a member. Rob, I appreciate that, my guy. I love it. Chef Chu says, hit that like button, please. Fins up. I love it. That's Australia's flag. Marcus J. Okay. What else you got here? A-Rod says, I'll go and share the link of this show on my Facebook Fins group. Every morning, A-Rod, every single morning. I appreciate the love. Great one, Devore. Get them to 70 likes. Got to show love to the crib. I like it. I'm at 62 likes right now. I'm 8 away. I guess y'all want me to go. I guess they don't want me to talk no more this morning, man.
Oh man, I was all hyped up about this running back situation.
I know. I was looking up stuff. I was getting ready to go out. I guess they don't want me to talk anymore. They've been listening to me for over almost 3 hours this morning. D-Dub says, does Mark Hopkins make the final roster? I'll let you. What do you know about Mark Hopkins? I'm still learning a little bit about him.
So here's how I feel about that, right? We already talked about how much talent is on this team, right? These guys on the bubble is going to be tough. You got to remember we have one less preseason game too, right? So a lot of these guys are either going to make it to the practice squad because honestly, some of the names that you know and that we rattle off all the time are going to be the guys that actually make it. So bubble guy, but he's going to have to do everything, right?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I look, there's a lot of players I want to know, like the kid, Jabari Blunt.
The basketball player?
Yeah, his dad was the Hall of Famer for the Steelers.
Yeah. We'll see. There's some potential there too, right?
I mean, a lot of people want to bring up the name Tony Gonzalez, right? And I understand why. But,
yeah, but you know why they do that?
62 likes, guys. 8 more likes. Let's go.
You know why they do that? And I'm going to state, like, I'm glad you're bringing up this topic because I will refuse to touch the running back situation until you get to 70. So let's talk about tight ends. What you do at tight end, right? Tight end is called the Frankenstein position in football, right? If you see a guy that's super athletic or that's super tall or that's something, right? But they've never played football before, you know what you do? You're like, oh, let's stick him at tight end because you figure you could get something out of him, right? Because there's so much you could do with that position. So you always take a chance on these guys. So what that means is if you see them bring in somebody that's not, typical for that position, they saw something that was really phenomenal about that player that they're going to try him at tight end. So we'll see how that goes there.
What do you think about Matt Collins? Because I love Matt Collins, dude. I really do. And I know he's listed as like a wide receiver hybrid, but I mean, I don't see him making this as a wide receiver, but I love him at tight end.
This is what Matt Collins brings, right? So remember, the Dolphins like versatility, and we already said it's a crowded, room for the receivers. Matt Collins, if he's a special teams guy, remember we keep talking about who we want on special teams or who we don't want on special teams. If he continues to go and be a special team star, right, for the Dolphins, because he's had some big special teams plays last season. If he does that and could hold his own as a receiver, he'll probably make the team, right? That's going to be his deal breaker. The other thing about Matt Collins, he's been working out with Tua this offseason. So there's a lot of receivers. I think there's 13 receivers right now that are signed, right? All 13 weren't thrown with the QB that decided not to go back to Hawaii and stay in Florida this offseason, right? So I would think that the guys that are out there putting in that time are gonna get an inside chance to do it. And Mac was one of the guys that's out there with Tua. So we'll see, man.
64 likes, 6 more likes, people. 6 more likes, and we'll talk about the running backs. And guys, I want to see a new YouTube member this morning. Another one. I already got one in the building. Let me get another one. And remember, let me put this up there again so people can see it, because I want to make sure that they see it and they understand it. Any single donation of $5 or more this morning gets you automatically entered to win a DWA swag bag giveaway. Enter as many times as you want. Rules and restrictions apply. Need at least 25 single donations to be able to give away the swag bag gift set. If not, then we're going to have to give away this bad boy right here, the DWA shorts. And if we get to 25 and you want the shorts, I'll give you the shorts instead of the swag bag gift set because I know that's hot. So remember, any single donation of $5 or more automatically gets you entered into the DWA swag bag giveaway. Hat, shirt, you know the drill. Definitely want to make that happen. Want to get more people rocking DWA all day long. Guys, 66 likes, 4 more likes. Bro, they're doing it. They're out here working that like button, my guy.
Yeah, they get you 4 more, and we talk about the running backs, and we close the show with that. Let's see if you get to hit them with that.
Duke wants to know who starts at safety this season.
Okay. So his real question is, do we think the rookie cracks the starting lineup? That's what his real question.
Yes.
It's covered in there, NBA, right?
Javon Holland will be starter week 1.
And well, here's what I say to that. Javon Holland has a very good chance of starting at safety. What he has to do is he has to come in and prove that he can play up and back. And if you already see that if you heard a little bit of the training camp snippets, he's already been doing that, right? Playing inside the box and outside the box. So there's a strong possibility that he could crack that starting lineup.
Q, the $9.99 donation. I love it.
Talking about.
I love it, man. Let's keep it going. 66 likes. I need 4 more likes. I need more people like Q in here. Come on, guys, I'm having a good time this morning. I want to talk about running backs. And Jamie said he's not going to talk running backs unless we get to 70 likes.
I am not.
I need you to hit that like button. I need y'all to hit that like button. Also, if you guys want to donate to the channel like my man Q just did, any donation of $5 or more gets you entered into the DWA swag bag giveaway. And also, if we don't get to 25 donations, which I think we're going to surpass that this week, I really do. I will let you have the choice, I guess, at this point. You either get the swag bag gift set or a DWA pair of shorts, because those shorts are fire. Where are the shorts at? I want people to see these shorts up close and personal. Like, these shorts are like, I'm telling you right now, they're like the hottest thing that we've ever had on the Miami Sports Music shop. The DWA Dolphins with Attitude shorts, they are just sweet looking. They are great for the summertime. Let me tell you, it's good stuff. Chef says, no bandwagoners allowed. I like it. All right. Let's see. So look, I think that let me put you back on screen here. My bad. I think that Javon Holland is definitely going to be the starter come day one. Here's a reality. We can talk about this real quick too while we're waiting for 4 more likes. I need 4 more likes, people. Here's a reality. I think that the Dolphins drafted 4 starters in the first 2 days of the draft. Waddle, Phillips, Eichenberg, and Holland all start week 1. All start, every last one of them.
I agree with you. If you remember, Holland, I called my shot on that. I called my shot on that draft pick, saying that would be the guy to come and join. I believe, yes, he's the one with the outside chance, but you're right. Potentially 4 starters. And can you imagine if you walk away from a draft with 4 starters? Teams are happy when they get 1. They get 1 day 1 starter from their draft picks, right? 2 was like, oh my God, we had an awesome draft. To get 4? Oh my God. And it's quite possible. It is quite possible.
It is definitely quite possible. Guys, 4 more likes. Come on, hit that like button so we can talk about these running backs. Great One Divorce says, I can't rule out McCourty being a starter too. Here's my issue with McCourty, Great One. He's at the end of his career. We all know what he brings to the table. I'm not saying that he's not going to play a significant role on this team, but I think that role is more of a locker room presence and being there for those young guys. And so because of that, I don't know if he has it in the tank to really still, be a everyday, somebody that's going to start. That's just my opinion. I don't know how you feel about that, Jamie.
Here's how I feel about that. I think McCourty came in for a reason. McCourty's going to get some significant playing time, but one thing these Dolphins have done, mark my words on it, watch what they do. They do not stunt growth. So yes, look at it like if you're a gardener or whatever, right? You plant a tree, but you need those younger trees to grow. If there's a guy that's doing anything close to what McCourty's bringing, McCourty's playing time will start to go down and he'll be used as a role player because they want their guys to shine. So to that point, what we're talking about, McCourty is our insurance, for if Holland isn't what they want Holland to be starting out of the gate. So if Holland can't get the concepts or is making too many mistakes in the offense and can't come in there and put in significant time, Dolphins are fine. They're going to what? Let's roll with McCourty. And to our commenter's point, I can't remember who brought up the comment, but let's just say McCourty's going to go out there and he's going to fill that gap and do what Flo wants, because Flo got a guy that he's already worked with that he knows, hey, this is what I want you to do right now. So if Holland can't do it coming in, McCourty's going to do it, right? But if Holland comes in and starts doing his thing day one, McCourty's going to be big bro in the corner, just, helping him, saying, oh, yeah, you got it. Let's go, and just filling in from time to time. So that's the insurance policy, man.
Chef Zhu said, Jamie Bahamas, in your opinion, what are the record predictions this year for this season?
I say the Dolphins are going to win 12 games this season. And that's looking through their schedule. The reason why I say 12 is, one, I think they're going to be improved. Yes, the schedule seems tough on paper. I always hate when they say on paper, and I just said it, right? Because you don't know. The teams aren't the same teams coming back the year before. Like, I really think the Patriots are going to be a tougher out this year. I think the Jets are going to be a tougher out this year. The Raiders were always tough. But the reason why I say 12 wins is I think the Dolphins are going to go on a stretch and they're going to get hot for a while, right? They're going to riddle off a 6 or 7 game stretch where they might only lose one game. The other thing is the schedule, the way they set it up, there's some good and some bad. The bad about it is that bye week and that international game and all that stuff, they have a long part of the schedule where they just gruel it out and they just got to hope they hit. The Dolphins have to get a lot of wins in that first half of the schedule when it's tough, right? If they do that, oh man, it's going to be fun at the back end, because that's when that bye week hits and you have some tough matchups. But if they're on that little bit of momentum, if you split those games, then you're looking at 11, 12 wins on top of that. So that's what I really like about their schedule coming through it, the way it laid out. They're just going to have to survive the schedule for a little bit. But I say 12 wins. And on top of the 12, the reason why I say that is they don't have to play Buffalo in the freezing cold anymore this season, right? I love that. They don't have to go to Foxborough for the last game of the season. You get to do that, in Miami, right? So the weather is going to help them a little bit. Some of those teams have to go suffer through Miami heat. So in that sense, I think that's going to help them knock out a couple extra wins too.
Let me ask you a question, because I think that this, is very important. So the Dolphins supposedly had the opportunity to have the bye week after London or later on in the year. Do you think that the Dolphins made the right decision? And if so, why? Or if not, why?
I do. So people try, and there's been studies on this, right? The conventional wisdom is, hey, you just took a long flight, right? So you want to be able to take that time off so you could acclimate back to your time zone and everything like that. Well, yeah, that's one way of looking at it. But you got to remember, right? Yes, it's a longer flight than flying from Miami to San Francisco, right? But Miami to San Francisco after playing a football game, especially in a different time zone at that point, is pretty tough too. And the teams have been doing that for a while, where they go from coast to coast and have to play that game and come back and follow up with the game the next week. So they're taking that into account and factoring that as, hey, this won't be that much different than us doing a coast-to-coast game. Yes, a few more hours on us. Yes, a little bit of longer fight. Yes, a longer time zone difference. But this is something that we could make some modifications for. What they were thinking of, which is awesome, go back and look at what you try to look at who's done it and who's won and who's done certain things well. Tampa Bay last season couldn't quite get it rolling before their bye week. They were just, new players coming in, again, talking about learning the playbook, getting their conditioning right, getting through their opponents, getting through some injuries. And they had that late bye week, right? I think they had 4 games remaining after their bye week. They came out of their bye week, got everything right, got to sit back, look at the whole season, got healthy, took their break. And even the players that they didn't have healthy, they were able to say, okay, what pieces do we need to fix where we were not healthy? And they didn't lose another game. So think about what the Dolphins are going to do here. They're going to weather this long season up front. They're going to see how things are going with Tua. They're going to see how the pieces are going with the new pieces for the offense. They're going to see how things are going with the new pieces for the defense. And after they come up with that bye week, it's playoff run, baby. It's time to focus on the postseason. They're going to look at it and say, hey, we're like, 9, 10, 11, we're 9 wins, 10 wins or whatever. Actually, no, it'll probably be like 7, 8 wins, whatever it is at the time. And now they're just going to hone in and trying to play their best football and saying this is the stretch. They're going to be revived for the postseason.
Sorry, somebody keeps my likes keep on going from 67 to 68. Somebody's playing with me. Somebody's hitting that like button and hitting it on and hitting it off. All right, guys, come on. I know you guys want to hear some running back talk. I'm not going to talk about it until we get to 70 likes. So I don't know if we have 67 likes or 68, but either way, I need some more likes. I need y'all to hit that damn like button right now. Let's go. Okay, there's 68. All right.
Two more, and we'll go at it. I see somebody wants to talk about Malcolm Brown, and so do I.
Somebody's hitting that like, yo, it went back to 67. Somebody's playing with my emotions. I don't like it.
I think they want to give you extra likes, but they know they realize they only give you one. Create a new account.
Kyle Van Noy filled the gap of when Ginkle stepped up last year. Kyle was insurance. Yes,
hey,
I definitely.
NorCal, that's exactly what I'm talking about with Holland and McCourty. You just nailed my example. That's exactly what's going to happen with McCourty and Holland.
Fantasy Panel says that's a Jet fan mad. 2 more likes. Let's go so we can talk about these running backs. And then I can get to my family because I hear my kids out in the living room and they're definitely 69 likes. Come on, baby. Let's get to 70. I know somebody else going to hit that like button now. Let's go.
Create a new account.
Goodness. Remember, any donation you guys give, $5 or more, enters you into the DWA swag bag raffle. All right. Or if you guys don't want the swag bag, you can get those new DWA shorts because those are fire. Shout out to I'm calling you Q because I don't want to say it's Quinty or Quinte. So if I said your name incorrectly, I apologize. But I want to give you a big shout out for the donation earlier. Hey guys. Somebody's playing with my emotions again. We got the 70 likes. Let's go. We did it. All right, man. I'm having a great time with you. So real quick, let me pull up this running back.
So let me tee it off as we close up the show on this one, okay? So the running back situation, I'm big on Miami had to improve their running back situation from the year before. The year before, they tried to go with, Breida and Jordan Howard, and they passed on drafting one of the premier running backs in that draft, and that did not go well. It was better than the year before where your quarterback was in the leading rusher, but they realized that didn't work and they had to retool again. So what they did last season is they went with guys that they picked up in the 7th round and undrafted, right? With Gaskin, Ahmed, Breida was still in the mix, right? And they tried that approach. And here's how that worked out, right? And Jordan Howard was not long for this world, but Gaskin and Ahmed really surprised people. People loved what they saw from him. I got excited about Gaskin. But when you look at it, the fact of the matter is Gaskin only gave, yes, they had the injuries and yes, they had to fight for it. But these guys, Gaskin just eclipsed 500. He had 584 yards, right? Didn't crack 600. Yes, I know the injuries were there or whatever the case is, but look at his body size and look what they're asking. He's set up to be injured, man. They're putting him out there and said, you're going to take some abuse. He had 3 touchdowns. He led with touchdowns. Actually, Ahmed also had 3 touchdowns. Almost looked like a Gaskin clone when he came in. It was like Gaskin went down. Ahmed started doing the same thing and had the same result. Also got injured, right? So I thought that with the draft picks the Dolphins had, that they were going to go get a running back this year. And honestly, I'm glad they didn't because I'm happy with the first 4 picks that they did. Now, I know I said that they were going to get a running back. Yes, they did. They got Dokes. But before we talk about Dokes, we have to talk about Brown, the addition in free agency. I love the Brown pickup. Here's why I love the Brown pickup. Because you're going to come back out there with Gaskin and Ahmed, but now you don't have to ask them to be something that they're not. Brown averages about 4 yards per clip on his carries. Yes, Gaskin and Ahmed also average 4 yards, but it's a different 4 yards. Gaskin and Ahmed's 4 yards are the 4 yards where you run for like 7 yards to get those 4 yards, or you run for 6 yards to get those 4 yards, or you burst out the speed and you're outrunning guys. When they had to go and just bruise, when they know the box is lined up, when you know people are standing in front of you, Ahmed and Gaskin were not your guys, right? So now you have Brown, who can be that guy that can bruise and get you those tough 4 yards. And then Dokes is there also. Dokes, remember I talked about the Dolphins always do this whole insurance.
Hold on. Before you go to Dokes, I want to go back to Brown. Do you think that Brown is going to play like, do his numbers get better by being on this team?
I think his numbers are going to be about the same because the Dolphins are going to share the wealth, right? I think he's going to serve a purpose. I think his value is going to come into when the Dolphins get this lead, when they're up on guys by 2 or 3 scores and they have the defense trying to turn it up on guys, that's when you're going to look to see, oh, how come Brown is in the game and Gaskin's not, or Ahmed's not? Because they want Brown to get those 4 yards, 5 yards where he's churning it out. And he might have a big game where he knocks out 60, 70, maybe 100 yards off of that. But it could be another game where he isn't that, where the Dolphins are going with this spread him out. Let's go attack him, where you see more Gaskin, Ahmed, and honestly, some Perry and Bowden in the backfield. So I like that. And then Dokes is going to be there in case, let's say Brown gets injured, or let's just say Brown pulls a Jordan Howard and can't come through. Don't sleep on what they're trying to pull up with Dokes, right? So those are the guys that are going to be trying to get your goal line. Those are the guys that are going to be in your 4-minute offense.
If you guys subscribe to the channel this morning, put it in the chat box that you are now subscribed to the channel. Because, all right, what is that? All right, something's in my thing here. All right. I don't know what happened here, but I got something playing. What is going on? There's something going crazy. All right, I see. Yo, my computer was going nuts on me for a second.
You're good on our end, man. You're all good on our end.
All right, so I had the ESPN thing up for the depth chart, and ESPN started playing. I'm like, what is going on? What do I hear? Yeah, so back to what I was saying. If you subscribe to the channel this morning, go ahead and tell me in the chat box that you guys did it. I want to see how many people hit the subscribe button today. I want to say thank you to everybody. Chef Shu hit the nail on the head. Thank you to everyone for helping this channel expand. Now we have to double this amount. Spread the word. Let's go Fins up. Last thing I want to talk about is Dokes. He's a 7th round draft pick. Where does he fit into this team? And so there are people that are in love with him. Now, are they in love with him because this is all we have to fall in love with at the moment? Or is he legit?
It's a little bit of both, right? It's a little bit of both, right? Yeah, this is Dokes right now, and I love Dokes, by the way, but this is what he is, right? So your clubbing days where you go out and you go with the boys, and like, hey, we're going out, we're gonna do our thing tonight, and all your boys are out there, and your first boy goes up there, and he, we see the hottest girl in the club, right? And he goes and gets that girl, and you're like, oh man, he's good. That's your Najee Harris, right? Your next boy is out there, and he buys this girl drinks and walks away. That's your Travis Etienne, right? And you see that keep going, and that's going all through the day. And then now last call comes up, and the lights turn on, right? but while the lights turn on, you might have had too much to drink. You might not have had too much, but things start to look good for you, right? And you're looking over there, and Dokes is in the corner looking real nice at that moment. Looking like, hey, what are you still doing here, right? And you take them home. And you know what? There's been some beautiful love stories written off of very similar situations like that. There's been people who ended up on the last call take-homes have ended up married and in long-term relationships, right? So it's a little bit of both for us. A little bit of both. So we'll see if this is oh crap, should have left you at the bar, or hey, we're gonna ride this long-term. But that's the Dokes scenario for us.
Hey, Duke, shout out to you over in Australia, down in the down under. You are the GOAT that you come on this show all the time and check us out. We love you, brother. Glad that you're here. Bro, this is the longest show we've ever had. We've done 3 hours this morning, bro.
Yeah, that's because I joined you, and it's the holidays, but I'm happy to do it with you, man. But let's take them home. Let's take them home.
Let's take them home. Guys, real quick, couple of news and notes. Number one, if you guys have not hit that like button, need you to do it now. That's one. Just because the show's over doesn't mean you don't have to not hit that like button. Number two, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I need you to subscribe, okay? The only way we grow is with your help. And part of the way to grow is through donations. If you guys donate, you guys can do that a couple of different ways. Number one way you guys can do that is through the super chat. If you guys do that through the super chat, your donations will go to helping this channel grow. And right now we are also doing a swag bag giveaway. Any single donation of $5 or more gets you automatically entered into the DWA swag bag giveaway. I will say there was $25 single donations needed. That is still true, but I think we're going to surpass that. So if you guys, I'll let the winner either pick the swag bag giveaway, or I'll let the winner win the DWA pair of shorts. And I'll tell you, if we get to 50 single donations, I'll give away both.
That's what I'm talking about.
If we get this 50 single donations this week, I will give away both the DWA swag bag and a DWA pair of shorts. So make sure you guys hit that donate button because it helps the channel grow. Okay. The other thing I want you guys to remember is that you also can become a member of our YouTube channel. Well, how do you do that? Well, let me tell you how. It's really easy. What you guys do is you go to step one. You guys can hit at the bottom there. Oh, actually, wait. There we go. How do you guys do that? It's very easily. You guys hit join now. And if you guys join now on the homepage, it'll say join. There's 3 different tiers. We have DWA, DWA for life, and DWA loyalty. I had a new member, Saxman J. Will, signed up for DWA this morning. It is a recurring monthly fee, but here's the best part about it. You get recurring monthly content. You get recurring daily content with me. And so it helps to help keep this channel grow. It helps us keep us on our toes. And look, at the end of the day, I just want to see everybody enjoy what we're putting out every single day of the week. There's some people that might like us. There's some people that might not. But my goal is to have everybody have a place for them here on Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Why is that? Because I'm not the only person with a show. We got people like Shula. What would Shula do with my man Wade O? We're going to have Allie's new show on our channel, The Freak Show. That will be coming out later next month. Actually, next month is tomorrow. So later on this June is going to be pretty awesome.
Hey, early shout out to Solo D, man. You just said tomorrow. I think his birthday's tomorrow. So early shout out to him, man.
God, you're trying to one up me here already on my show. Yes, it is the Honorable's.
See, that's why you got to get me out of here, man.
The Honorable's birthday tomorrow. Maybe we might have him on. That might be a good thing. Maybe we have the Honorable on his birthday on the morning show. That
I don't know. You might be asking for trouble. Good luck with that one.
Yeah, but you know what? You guys should hit him up on Twitter and Instagram. Hey, you should be on the morning show tomorrow. So yeah, that would definitely be awesome. Rob says, I'm waiting impatiently for the Freak Show. She literally just moved into her new house yesterday or the day before. So give her time to unpack the house, set up the new podcast room. She's going to get there, Rob. I promise you. Everyone celebrate Decoration Day, Memorial Day safely. The celebration is for the service members who did not come home and died in service. That is why I'm wearing this camo DWA swag, which you guys can find on MiamiSportsMusic.com. But yes, that is why I'm wearing that today. I wore it on Friday, and I was like, I need to wear it again. I did wash it, just so everybody knows. So, yes, make sure you guys do that. I would love for you guys to if you guys missed any content, just go back and repeat it all, because it is amazing what you guys do on a day in, day out basis. Duke, when are you on again, Steven? Oh, guys, when am I on? Tell Duke when I am on. I need y'all to tell him in the comment box right now when I am on, in the morning and in the afternoons. Why don't you guys tell him, for those of you who don't know, or for those of you who know, when am I on? He said, Marcus says tomorrow at 7:30 Central Eastern Standard Time. I am on at 8:30 every morning, Duke. Every morning at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, U.S. And then I am also on in the afternoons on Onside Radio YouTube at 6:30 p.m. 6:30 at 6 o'clock p.m. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, U.S. And that one is for the fans. And that one I'm going to have East 32 Tailgates, Cameron Scott on this morning or this afternoon. That's going to be a fun one. So make sure you guys check that out. Make sure you guys check out all the content that we have. And then, last thing, bro, why don't you tell the fine folks where they can find all your stuff at there, Mr. Jamie Bahamas?
Hey, I want to end a different way than I normally do, Stephen. And then sorry, I didn't clear this with you first, but I have to. So thank you for having me here. Thank you for promoting everything about me. You guys can find me real easy. My name is Jamie Bahamas. If you just Google it, honestly, everywhere I am on the internet is going to be there. But that's not how I just want to leave that there and leave the self-promotion for that for now. What I do want to do is two things, right? I do realize that we had a lot of fun today, and this was awesome that you started everybody's Memorial Day like this. So the first thing I want to say, Stephen, is I want to, recognize, all of our military out there that, that's why we have this day, that do what they do, the sacrifices that people's families and some of you guys out there that listen. And if you hear this in the future, I do want to say thank you. That's the one thing I don't want to walk away from Memorial Day. And the second thing I do want to put out there too, today also marks another, big significant day in history. Today is the 100-year anniversary of the Tulsa massacre. And I know some people aren't familiar with that or what happened there. So I do encourage you to go and Google it. I'm not going to preach about that because that's not what we're here for. We're here, for you to have fun and have the lighter side. But I do want to put it out there that it is something that happened. Go look it up. And why I bring it up is because what I want us to be exactly the way we are here. I want us to spread kindness and, only through love and enjoying things like this are we going to come together. So that's what I want to end with today, Steve. And I just wanted to make sure that we all have some time to reflect on that on this beautiful Memorial Day.
Bro, I love you, man, and you don't have to worry about clearing nothing from me. If you think something needs to be said, then it needs to be said because, I totally agree, man. I am, yes. I honestly couldn't have said it better myself. I don't even know why I'm trying to because you hit the nail on the head. I want to thank everybody for coming on. I want to echo the sentiments of what Jamie just said. The Tulsa Massacre is something you guys need to go look up and learn. That is definitely something that everybody should learn about in our history. And then, Memorial Day, I'm coming from an amazing military family. My grandfather, where is that photo real quick? Actually, now that I have that here, of course I had this thing up like for the entire time and now I can't find it anywhere. All right. Good talk, Russ. My grandfather served 34 plus years in the U.S. military, served in all three of the big major wars, Vietnam, World War II, and Korean War, if I'm correct. Was lieutenant commander in the U.S. Navy. Is no longer here with us. My father served 20 years in the U.S. Navy. He is here. So is my mom. But I mean, my grandfather on my dad's side was a senior chief on subs, and he is no longer here. And he served 20 plus years in the Navy. So look, man, I come from my mother was Navy. She's still here. But I come from a military background. Like I was a military brat. I moved around a lot when I was a kid. I think I went to like 5 different elementary schools. It's a lot. And it's a lot on families too. And the vets that served and didn't come home, or the vets that served and just are no longer with us now for whatever reason, it is absolutely amazing to remember them, because no matter what this country's been through, and it's been through a lot, the people that have fought for it, we want to remember them. And, I definitely do every single day. I think about my grandfathers. I think about the different people that, have meant to me the most in life. And when you come from a big military family like I have, this is a big day. This is a day that is not taken lightly. I thought about whether to do a show this morning or not. And I originally didn't know if I was. And then you and Doug both said, hey, I can do Monday. And I was like, you know what? This would be a great opportunity to have an extended show and just something to give people that are off, or military vets, or people that have served in the military, or their families, just some great content for a few hours. Just take their mind off the world and just stuff. And yeah, boy, you get me in a zone and a real emotion right now, Jamie.
And like I said, I didn't prep you for it, but I couldn't. It wouldn't sit well with my conscience today to not leave that on the table, because that's part of the reason we were able to do this today and have so much fun with people. So I just wanted to make sure I left it out there, especially on the 2 points, right? But It's been fun, man. Love it. Love you. Love all the
Well, you
people
get
in
me
the
crying
comment
over here,
section.
man. You can't be doing that to me, man.
I know. I was glad you were talking because it gave me some time to like suck it back up too. But honestly, to end this on a lighter note too, I just want to say, man, the comment section, your supporters are awesome. I really feel the love. I really appreciate you. I appreciate all of them. And you know what? Fins up. We're all one family out there. Love everybody. Love all you guys.
Yeah, I love my Finlaws and my Fins family. You guys are absolutely amazing. Not only because of your love for me and your support for the channel, but just the love for yourself and the love you show each other. Even when you guys are yelling at each other and arguing with each other, there's still love there. And that's what I love most about this. So I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, US. No matter where you are in the world, please enjoy today. Remember those who have lost their lives, that have defended our country. And I love you guys. I love every single one of you that are watching this right now. If you are hearing this, know that someone loves you, and that someone is me. And I am always going to be here. And that's what I do. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. Fins up. Y'all have a good night, a good day, no matter where y'all are from. Peace out.